My child, stop scrolling. This is me asking you a question you have been avoiding. Will you finally hear me out? You have felt my nudge before. You have sensed my voice in the quiet, then rushed past it. Today, I am not whispering from a distance. I am speaking directly to your heart, and what I am about to say will confront, comfort, and call you higher all at once. Stay with me. Do not click away. Do not half listen. Lean in and listen all the way through, because this is not just inspiration. This is invitation. And before this ends, you will know exactly what you must do next. My child, I am not rushing you, and I am not raising my voice, but there is a weight in what I am about to say that you have been avoiding for a long time. You keep sensing it in quiet moments, in the pauses between your thoughts, in the way your chest tightens when you try not to think too deeply. You feel it, but you move on quickly. You tell yourself you will deal with it later, that you are just tired, that life is simply overwhelming right now. But you know there is more to it than that. You know there is something I have been trying to speak into your heart, something gentle yet persistent, something that has not gone away no matter how much you distract yourself. I have been patient with you. I have watched you scroll, work, talk, laugh, and fill your days so completely that you do not have to sit still long enough to hear what is rising inside you. And I understand why you do that. When you slow down, you start to feel the ache. When everything gets quiet, you become aware of questions you are not sure you want to face. So you stay busy. You tell yourself you are being productive, responsible, strong. But deep down, you know you are also avoiding me. Not because you do not love me, and not because you want to run from me, but because you are afraid of what I might say if you truly listen. You are afraid that if you let me speak without interruption, I will ask you to change something you have grown comfortable holding onto. You are afraid that I will touch the very area you have protected the most. And yet, I am not coming to tear you down. I am not coming to expose you in shame. I am coming because I care about you too deeply to let you continue pretending that everything inside you is fine. I see the tension you carry. I see the way you brace yourself emotionally even when nothing is attacking you. I see how you prepare for disappointment before it even happens. You have grown used to managing life on your own terms, and that independence feels safe. But it has also made you distant from me in ways you do not fully admit. I am not offended by your distance. I am concerned for your heart. You were never meant to live guarded all the time. You were never meant to carry unspoken burdens while telling yourself you are handling it well. I am asking you to let me speak without immediately defending yourself. Let me finish what I have been trying to say to you in the quiet. Stay with me long enough to hear my heart toward you. I am not your critic. I am your father. And everything I say to you comes from love that has never wavered, even when you doubted it. You have felt my nudges before. You have sensed that gentle pull when you knew something in your life needed attention. You have recognized the small conviction in your spirit when your choices did not align with who you truly are. And instead of sitting with that feeling, you reasoned your way around it. You told yourself it was not that serious. You compared yourself to others and concluded you were doing fine. You convinced yourself that growth could wait. I watched you do that, and I did not withdraw from you. I stayed close. I waited because I knew there would come a moment when you would finally be tired of running in circles inside your own mind. I see that tiredness now. You may not say it out loud, but you are exhausted from trying to hold everything together without fully letting me in. You talk to me in short prayers. You think about me in passing. But you rarely sit with me long enough to let me search the deeper places of your heart. You fear what might surface if you allow that kind of honesty. You fear regret might rise. You fear grief might come forward. You fear I might confirm the very things you have been trying not to admit about yourself. But listen to me carefully. When I bring something into the light, it is not to humiliate you. It is to heal you. I am not trying to corner you. I am trying to free you. You have grown used to functioning at a surface level because it feels manageable. Depth feels overwhelming. But the peace you are longing for will never be found at the surface. It lives in the place where you stop pretending and start being honest with me about what you feel, what you fear, and what you truly want. I am asking you to trust my heart. When I speak to you, it is not to take something from you without purpose. It is to guide you into something better than what you are clinging to now. I know you are afraid of losing control. I know you are afraid that if you truly hear me out, you will have to release something familiar. But what you call security has also become a cage. I am not here to push you into drastic action. I am here to have a real conversation with you. One where you stop bracing yourself and start listening. So I am asking you gently, not as a demand, but as an invitation. Will you finally hear me out? Will you sit with me without distraction? Will you let me finish speaking into your life before you decide what it costs? I am not going anywhere. I am right here, waiting for you to lean in instead of pulling away. My child, come closer in your heart for a moment and let me speak into something that has quietly shaped the way you see me. You have interpreted my silence as absence. You have felt the stillness in certain seasons of your life and concluded that I stepped back, that I withdrew, that I allowed you to walk alone. I need you to look at that belief honestly. Sit with it. Do not rush past it. You built that conclusion slowly, over months and maybe years, through unanswered prayers and delayed outcomes. You remember the nights when you whispered my name and felt nothing move. You remember the mornings when you asked for direction and heard no clear instruction. That quiet unsettled you. It felt like rejection. It felt like distance. You told yourself that if I truly cared, you would feel something more obvious, something dramatic, something undeniable. But you confused quiet with indifference. You mistook stillness for neglect. I was not gone. I was working in ways that did not require noise. I was shaping your character in the background of your circumstances. I was building patience inside you, not by punishing you with delay, but by strengthening your inner life where no one else could see. You wanted fireworks. I was forming foundations. You expected thunder. I was cultivating roots. There is a difference between spectacle and substance, and I chose substance for you. Look back carefully. Even in those quiet months, you were not destroyed. You were not abandoned. You were sustained. You woke up each day with enough breath to continue. You had strength you did not manufacture on your own. You called it survival, but I called it support. I never stopped carrying you. I simply refused to compete with the noise around you. And I will not compete now. Instead, I invite you to rethink what silence means. Do not run from it. Lean into it. Sit in it. Let it breathe. When you feel that quiet again, do not interpret it as emptiness. Recognize it as an invitation. I am asking you to shift your understanding. Stop measuring my presence by emotional intensity. Stop demanding constant confirmation. Trust that I can be near without being loud. Trust that I can be active without being obvious. You do not need spectacle to prove my care. You need steadiness. And that is what I have always given you. Now, I want you to consider how your interpretation of silence has affected your relationship with me. You became cautious. You guarded your expectations. You began to pray with less hope, preparing yourself for disappointment before I even answered. That posture did not protect you. It quietly distanced you from trust. I saw you bracing yourself, lowering your expectations so you would not feel let down. You convinced yourself that detachment was maturity. But detachment is not wisdom. It is self-defense. And I do not want you living in self-defense mode with me. I want you engaged, open, honest. I want you to come to me with boldness again. Do not hold back because you are afraid I will be quiet. Even when I do not respond in the way you expect, I am not ignoring you. I am orchestrating things beyond your immediate sight. I am aligning circumstances you cannot yet perceive. There are moments when I remain silent because the answer you seek is still unfolding. There are times when I withhold explanation because understanding will arrive at the right moment, not before. You do not need all the information in advance. You need trust. And I know trust feels vulnerable. It requires you to release control over outcomes. It asks you to believe in my goodness even when your emotions are unsettled. That is not easy for you. I see that struggle. But I am asking you now to reconsider your narrative. Do not say God was silent, so he was distant. Instead, say, God was silent, so he was working in ways I did not yet see. Speak that truth over your memories. Reframe those seasons. Let your perspective mature. And right now, I am inviting you to practice something different. The next time you feel quiet around you, do not fill it immediately. Do not reach for distraction. Stay. Breathe. Let the silence stretch without fear. Ask me gently, what are you forming in me right now? Then wait without anxiety. You will begin to notice subtle guidance, quiet confidence, small shifts in your thinking. That is how I often move. Not with spectacle, but with steady shaping. I want you to trust my subtlety. I want you to stop demanding noise as proof of love. You are not neglected. You have never been ignored. You were being refined, strengthened, and prepared in the very moments you thought I had stepped away. Let that truth settle deeply into you. Release the accusation you carried in your heart. Come back to me without suspicion. I am not distant. I am deliberate. And I am closer than you have allowed yourself to believe. My child, now I need you to look at something even more personal. There are truths about your life that you have sensed for a long time, yet you have avoided naming them clearly. You feel them when you are alone. You recognize them in moments of conviction. But you quickly redirect your thoughts because acknowledging those truths would require change. And change unsettles you. You have constructed routines, habits, and emotional patterns that feel familiar, even if they are not healthy. Familiarity gives you comfort. Even dysfunction can feel safe when it is predictable. I understand why you hesitate. If you admit that something in your life needs adjustment, you will have to confront the discomfort of growth. Growth stretches you. Growth exposes what you would rather keep hidden. You worry that if you fully hear me out, I will point directly at the areas you have tried to protect. You fear I will dismantle what you have built. But listen carefully. I am not interested in tearing down your life without purpose. I am interested in freeing you from the quiet compromises that have kept you smaller than you were created to be. You already know where those compromises are. You feel them when your conscience nudges you. You sense them when your peace fades after certain choices. You justify them by saying everyone struggles. And yes, struggle is common. But you were not designed to live resigned to patterns that slowly drain your strength. I am inviting you into honest reflection, not harsh self-criticism. Look at your motivations. Examine your habits. Consider the places where you say you trust me but still cling tightly to control. Do not panic when you see areas that need growth. That awareness is not condemnation. It is clarity. And clarity is a gift. I am asking you to stop running from self-examination. Sit with me and let us talk through what you have been avoiding. Do not shut down. Do not deflect. Stay open. I will guide you gently. I will not overwhelm you with everything at once. But I will not pretend that nothing needs attention. You deserve freedom from the inner tension you carry. And that freedom begins with truth. You may think that facing truth will cost you too much. You imagine loss, discomfort, maybe even conflict. You fear what others might think if you shift direction. You fear disappointing people. You fear failing if you attempt change and struggle again. Those fears are real to you. I do not dismiss them. But consider the cost of staying the same. Consider the slow erosion of peace that happens when you continually silence your convictions. That erosion is subtle but powerful. Over time, it dulls your sensitivity. It lowers your expectations for yourself. It convinces you that partial obedience is enough. I am calling you higher, not to burden you, but to restore your integrity. Integrity is alignment between what you believe and how you live. When those two drift apart, your soul feels unsettled. You have felt that unrest. You have tried to ignore it, but it remains. I am asking you to take one courageous step toward alignment. You do not need to overhaul your entire life today. Start with honesty. Admit where you have been compromising. Admit where fear has dictated your choices. Admit where pride has prevented humility. Speak it to me plainly. Do not dress it up. Do not soften it. Just bring it into the light. Then allow me to walk you forward. I am not demanding perfection. I am inviting progress. I am not asking you to prove your devotion with grand gestures. I am asking you to trust me enough to confront what you already know needs attention. And yes, that requires courage. But you are not facing it alone. I am beside you. I am within you. I will supply strength where you feel weak. I will steady you when you feel uncertain. I will remind you who you are when shame tries to define you. Do not let fear of change keep you in quiet captivity. Open your hands. Release what you have been gripping. Step toward the truth you have been avoiding. You will discover that facing it does not destroy you. It liberates you. And when you choose honesty over hiding, you will feel something shift inside you. That shift is freedom beginning to take root. So come now. Let us walk into that truth together. My child, I want you to sit with me for a moment and admit something you rarely say out loud. You are tired. Not the kind of tired that sleep fixes. Not the kind that disappears after a weekend away. There is a deeper fatigue in you, the kind that settles into your bones and follows you into quiet rooms. You carry more than you let others see. You manage expectations. You respond to messages. You handle responsibilities. You show up for family, for work, for church, for everyone who needs you. You have become dependable, steady, reliable. And yet, when the door closes and you are alone, you feel the weight pressed down on your chest. You do not always know how to explain it. You tell yourself you should be grateful. You tell yourself others have it harder. But you cannot deny the heaviness that lingers. I see it clearly. I see the way your shoulders tighten even when no one is demanding anything from you. I see how your thoughts keep running long after the day is done. You call it stress. You call it adulthood. But beneath it, there is something more personal. You have been trying to hold your world together by sheer will. You have been strong for so long that you forgot what it feels like to rest without guilt. Listen to me carefully now. You are not meant to live in constant tension. You are not designed to survive on pressure and performance. You were created for peace, not perpetual strain. I am not asking you to abandon your responsibilities. I am asking you to release the belief that everything depends on you. Come to me honestly. Stop pretending you are fine. Tell me where you feel stretched thin. Tell me where you feel unseen. You do not have to impress me with resilience. I already know your limits. I know when you are forcing a smile. I know when your encouragement for others costs you more than you admit. So pause right now. Take a slow breath. Let your body relax just a little. Feel the tension you have normalized. Bring it to me. Do not minimize it. Do not compare it. Simply acknowledge it. Your weariness matters to me. And I am inviting you into a different rhythm, one where you stop running on fumes and start receiving strength from me. Trust that I can carry what you have been gripping so tightly. There is another layer to your exhaustion that you have not fully confronted. You are tired not only because of what you do, but because of what you feel. You carry disappointments that you have not processed. You absorb criticism quietly. You replay conversations in your mind, wondering if you said too much or not enough. You try to anticipate future problems so you can prevent them. That mental vigilance drains you more than you realize. It is like a silent tax on your peace. You have been living in a state of subtle alertness, always scanning for the next issue to solve. That constant readiness feels responsible, but it also robs you of rest. I want you to loosen that grip. You do not have to manage every possible outcome. You do not have to rehearse every scenario in your mind. Release that burden. Hand it to me deliberately. Say to me, I cannot control everything, and I do not need to. Speak that out loud if you must. Let your own ears hear it. I am not asking you to become careless. I am inviting you to trust my oversight more than your anxiety. When you feel that familiar tightness in your chest, stop and turn toward me instead of spiraling inward. Invite me into the moment. Let me steady your breathing. Let me remind you that your value is not measured by how much you carry. You are not my employee. You are my child. I do not evaluate you based on productivity. I cherish you for who you are. That distinction matters. I want you to feel it. Rest is not laziness. It is obedience when I call you into it. So create space. Protect quiet moments. Resist the urge to fill every gap with noise. Sit with me without an agenda. Allow your soul to exhale. You may feel uncomfortable at first. You may feel exposed without the shield of busyness. Stay anyway. I will meet you there. And as you practice this slower rhythm, you will notice something shift. The sharp edge of your fatigue will soften. The heaviness will begin to lift. Not because your responsibilities disappear, but because you are no longer carrying them alone. Let me be your steady strength. Let me be the quiet foundation beneath your busy life. You do not have to prove your endurance anymore. Come rest in my presence and receive what you have been missing. My child, there is something else I want you to look at honestly. You have learned to calm your discomfort with distraction. When your thoughts grow heavy, you reach for something immediate. You scroll. You watch it. You fill your ears with noise. You keep conversations going longer than necessary. You schedule your days tightly so there is no room for silence. And you tell yourself you are unwinding. You call it relaxing. You convince yourself you deserve it. There is nothing wrong with rest or union. But you know the difference between healthy rest and avoidance. You feel it when the distraction ends and the same unsettled feeling returns. That unsettled feeling is not your enemy. It is a signal. It is your soul asking for attention. You keep trying to soothe it with surface solutions, but the ache remains. I am not criticizing you for seeking relief. I understand your need for comfort. Life can be intense. Emotions can be overwhelming. But distraction is a temporary cover, not a cure. It quiets the noise for a moment, yet it does not address the source. I want something deeper for you. I want you to experience peace that does not depend on constant stimulation. Real peace does not require a screen or background noise to exist. It grows from connection, from honesty, from stillness in my presence. You have been afraid of that stillness because you think it will expose everything you have been avoiding. In a way it will. But exposure in my presence leads to healing, not harm. So I am asking you to examine your habits. Notice when you instinctively reach for distraction. Pause before you do. Ask yourself what you are trying to escape. Do not judge yourself harshly. Yes, be curious. Bring that curiosity to me. Let us talk about what surfaces. You may discover grief you never processed. You may uncover fears you buried under activity. You may realize you have been lonely in ways you did not admit. Do not run from those discoveries. Stay with them. I'm here. I am not overwhelmed by your emotions. I am not inconvenienced by your vulnerability. I am inviting you into a deeper calm, one that remains steady even when your external world is noisy. You may resist this invitation because distraction has become familiar, almost comforting. It is easier to scroll than to sit with unresolved feelings. It is easier to watch someone else's story than to examine your own. But consider what your patterns are producing. Are they bringing lasting peace, or are they simply postponing discomfort? You know the answer in your heart. I am not asking you to eliminate every form of entertainment. I am asking you to stop using it as a shield. When you feel the urge to numb, choose something different at least once. Turn toward me instead. Step outside. Breathe deeply. Speak to me honestly about what is rising inside you. Invite me into that raw space. You may feel awkward at first. You may feel unsure how to begin. Start simply. Tell me you feel restless. Tell me you feel empty. Tell me you do not know what you need. I will meet you there. I will not shame you for how long you have relied on distraction. I will gently guide you toward healthy rhythms. And as you practice this, you will notice a shift. Your mind will feel clearer. Your emotions will feel less chaotic. You will begin to experience what I call settled strength, a quiet confidence that does not depend on constant input. That kind of peace cannot be manufactured through activity. It grows in relationship. It deepens through trust. I want you to taste this steadiness. I want you to know what it feels like to be fully present without needing escape. So choose differently today. Make space. Turn off the noise for a while. Sit with me without reaching for the next distraction. Let your thoughts slow down. Let your heart open. I am not trying to restrict you. I am trying to free you from patterns that keep you shallow. There is depth available to you, and in that depth, you will find the peace you have been chasing. Come closer. Stay present. Allow me to teach you a quieter, stronger way to live. My child, come a little closer in your thoughts and be honest with me about something you rarely admit. There are questions inside you that you have not fully voiced. They circle in your mind late at night. They surface when something in your life does not make sense. You push them down because you worry they sound ungrateful, doubtful, maybe even disrespectful. You tell yourself that strong faith does not ask difficult questions. So you silence your curiosity and present me with polished prayers instead of real ones. But I know the difference. I can hear the tremor in your heart even when your words are carefully arranged. You have wondered why certain doors closed. You have wondered why certain people left. You have wondered why healing did not come when you expected it. You have even wondered whether you misunderstood my guidance at times. Do not pretend you have not thought these things. I was there when those thoughts formed. I was there when you hesitated to speak them. I am not threatened by your questions. I am not offended by your confusion. I am your father, not a fragile authority figure who collapses under inquiry. So stop filtering yourself when you come to me. Bring the raw questions. Bring the uncomfortable ones. Say them plainly. Ask me why you felt alone in that season. Ask me why the answer was delayed. Ask me why the outcome did not match your expectation. Speak directly. I can handle it. You do not need to protect me from your honesty. In fact, I am inviting you into deeper trust through it. When you suppress your questions, they do not disappear. They quietly shape your perception of me. They become small cracks in your confidence. And over time, those cracks widen into distance. I do not want distance between us. I want dialogue. I want real conversation. So release the fear that asking questions makes you weak. It makes you engage. It means you care. You would not wrestle if you did not value the relationship. And I value you enough to meet you in that wrestling. Come now. Open your mouth. Tell me what confuses you. Tell me what frustrates you. Tell me where you feel disappointed. I am listening without defensiveness. I am steady in love. Let your questions breathe in my presence instead of suffocating them in silence. There is something else you need to understand about your questions. Sometimes the act of asking reshapes you before the answer even arrives. When you bring your uncertainty to me instead of burying it, your heart softens. Your perspective expands. You begin to see layers you missed before. You may not receive immediate clarity every time. I will not always give you a detailed explanation of every event. But I will give you something steadier than explanations. I will give you my presence. And that presence will carry you further than information ever could. You have been afraid that if you voice your doubts, I might withdraw. That fear has kept you polite but distant. I do not want polite distance. I want honest closeness. So here is what I want you to do. The next time a question rises in your heart, do not dismiss it. Pause. Turn toward me. Say, I do not understand this. Let those words be simple and sincere. Then stay with me. Do not rush away if the sky does not split open with immediate clarity. Sit in the quiet. Let you trust stretch. Trust is not blind optimism. It is relational confidence. It grows as you experience my steadiness over time. Look back at your life. Even when you did not understand what I was doing, you were not destroyed. Even when you felt confused, you were carried through. That history matters. It is evidence. Let it strengthen your present trust. And as you continue to bring your questions to me, you will notice something subtle but powerful. Your fear will shrink. Your confidence will deepen. You will realize that your relationship with me does not collapse under inquiry. It grows through it. I am not asking you to silence your mind. I am inviting you to engage your heart. Do not shrink back. Do not pretend certainty you do not feel. Come honestly. Ask boldly. Stay patiently. I will meet you in the tension, and in time, you will see that your questions were not threats to your faith. They were pathways into deeper understanding. My child, there is another place in your heart that needs attention. You revisit your past more often than you admit. You replay conversations. You reconsider decisions. You imagine alternate outcomes if you had chosen differently. Regret has become a quiet companion in your thoughts. You do not speak about it frequently, but it lingers beneath the surface. When something in your present feels uncertain, your mind drifts backward, searching for the moment where you believe everything shifted. You tell yourself that if you had acted sooner, spoken differently, trusted more, things would be better now. That narrative has grown familiar. It feels logical. It even feels responsible to analyze your past. But analysis has slowly turned into accusation. You are harsher with yourself than you realize. You interpret past mistakes as permanent disqualifications. You measure your current limitations against decisions you cannot undo. And every time you revisit those memories, you feel a subtle heaviness return. I see that cycle. I see how it drains your confidence. You think you are learning from the past, but often you are reliving it without grace. Let me speak clearly into this. Your past is not a prison unless you keep locking yourself inside it. Yes, you made imperfect decisions. Yes, there were moments when you lack wisdom. That is part of being human. But you are not defined by a snapshot of your worst choice. You are not reduced to a single season of misjudgment. I have been working within your story from the beginning. Even your missteps have been woven into a larger design. That does not mean every choice was ideal. It means I am not limited by your imperfection. Stop treating your past like an unchangeable verdict over your future. It is a chapter, not the conclusion. You need to release the idea that one wrong turn permanently disqualified you from something meaningful. I am not that fragile in my planning. I am not that easily thwarted. You cannot ruin what I have purposed for you simply because you stumbled. Let that truth settle deeply. Do not argue with it. Receive it. Now I want you to actively shift how you relate to your regret. Instead of replaying it with condemnation, revisit it with curiosity and compassion. Ask yourself what you learned. Ask yourself how you have grown since then. Notice the resilience that formed in you because of those experiences. You are not the same person you were when those decisions were made. You have matured. You have gained perspective. Yet you continue to judge your present self by your past limitations. That is not fair to who you are becoming. I am calling you forward, not backward. When regret surfaces, do not indulge it. Interrupt it gently. Remind yourself that growth includes missteps. Speak this over your own heart. I am not trapped in who I used to be. Then turn your focus toward what is in front of you. There are opportunities still unfolding. There are doors you have not yet seen. There is purpose ahead that has not been forfeited. Stop assuming that what you missed once can never reappear in a new form. I'm creative. I can restore, redirect, and redeem. But you must cooperate with that redemption. You must release your grip on self-condemnation. Let go of the constant rewind. Choose forward movement. It may feel unfamiliar at first because regret has been a habit. But habits can change. You are not beyond restoration. You are not behind in a way that disqualifies you. I am still writing your story. Trust me enough to look ahead with hope instead of backward with accusation. Take one step today that reflects confidence rather than shame. Act as though your future is still open, because it is. I am not finished with you. Do not finish yourself prematurely by clinging to what cannot be changed. Lift your eyes. Walk forward. I am walking with you. And as you choose to stop replaying what cannot be changed, hear me in this moment. Do not hesitate again when I place an opportunity for impact in your hands. This message that lifted you from regret is oil for another soul still drowning in shame. When you sow into this work through super thanks, membership, or a PayPal gift. The PayPal link is in the video description. You are planting seeds in soil you may never see, but I see it, and I breathe on it. Did I not say what you sow you will also reap? I am speaking that promise over you now. If your heart has whispered, I want to help others hear this, that whisper is my invitation. This is not a random moment. It is a divine appointment to turn your gratitude into harvest. As you give, I will multiply your seed, guard your path, and restore what regret once tried to steal. Do not scroll past obedience. Act now, and so forward. My child, I want you to think back to a version of yourself that feels distant now. There was a time when you were lighter. You laughed without calculating outcomes. You dreamed without immediately questioning feasibility. You trusted more easily. You moved with a kind of open-hearted courage that did not analyze every risk. That version of you still exists, but you feel as though life slowly buried it under responsibility, disappointment, and quiet disillusionment. You tell yourself this is simply maturity. You say this is what growing up looks like. But deep inside, you miss something. You miss the spark that once felt natural. You miss the sense of expectancy that colored your days. You may not articulate it clearly, but you feel the loss. Let me say something important to you. That part of you has not died. It has been covered, not erased. It has been overshadowed by survival mode, by caution, by the protective layers you developed when things did not unfold the way you imagined. You adapted. You hardened in subtle ways. You became careful where you once were bold. And I understand why. You were hurt. You were disappointed. You felt exposed. So you adjusted. That adjustment helped you endure, but it also muted something beautiful inside you. I do not want you to live as a reduced version of yourself. I did not create you to function in permanent self-protection. I formed you with depth, creativity, sensitivity, and strength. Do not accept the idea that your best days were behind you. Do not settle into a quiet resignation that says, "This is just who I am now." You are still growing. You are still unfolding. The part of you that feels forgotten is not gone. It is waiting for you to reclaim it. So pause right now. Let yourself remember what once excited you. Recall what once moved your heart. Do not dismiss those memories as naive. They were honest expressions of who you are. I am inviting you to reconnect with that part of yourself in a wiser, steadier way. You do not need to return to immaturity. You need to recover vitality. And that vitality grows when you allow yourself to hope again. Take a step toward something that once brought you joy. Speak life over dreams you quietly abandoned. Do not mock your younger self for believing deeply. Honor that courage. I placed it in you intentionally, and I can breathe fresh strength into it now. As you consider this, you may feel resistance rising. You might think it is safer to stay guarded. You might tell yourself that hoping again risks disappointment. That fear has shaped your decisions more than you realize. It has influenced the way you approach relationships, opportunities, and even your faith. You have lowered your expectations to protect your heart. But in doing so, you also limited your experience of joy. Guarded living feels controlled, but it is also constrained. I am not asking you to become reckless. I am inviting you to become alive again. Let go of the assumption that growth always leads to loss. Allow yourself to imagine possibility without immediately calculating failure. When that old spark flickers, you not extinguish it with skepticism. Nurture it. Speak gently to yourself instead of critically. Tell yourself that renewal is possible. I am actively working in your life. I am not finished shaping your story. There are chapters ahead that you have not yet envisioned. Stop defining yourself by the season that felt heavy. That was a chapter, not your identity. You are not permanently marked by disappointment. You are not destined to remain cautious and closed. I want you to stretch emotionally. I want you to trust that your capacity for joy can expand again. Begin by inviting me into your dreams. Share them honestly. Do not filter them through fear. Let me guide you toward growth without losing the essence of who you are. You are not too old to hope. You are not too experienced to believe. The version of you that feels forgotten is still reachable. Reach toward it intentionally. Let me restore what felt dim. Walk forward with a renewed sense of expectancy. You are not finished becoming who I designed you to be. My child, there is something heavier than regret that has been shaping how you see yourself. It is shame. Not loud, dramatic shame, but quiet, persistent shame. It lingers beneath your confidence. It whispers when you compare yourself to others. It surfaces when you remember past mistakes. You do not often call it by name, but it influences how you approach me and how you approach life. You feel slightly disqualified, slightly less worthy, slightly behind. You measure your progress against others and conclude that you are lacking. That comparison becomes a silent accusation. You tell yourself you should be further along spiritually, emotionally, financially, relationally. You interpret your struggles as evidence that something is fundamentally flawed in you. I need you to hear me clearly now. Your worth is not fragile. It is not dependent on flawless performance. I do not relate to you through a scorecard. I do not evaluate you based on your worst day. You have allowed shame to distort your perception of me. You imagine that I am disappointed in you more often than I actually am. You project your inner critic onto my heart. The projection has created unnecessary distance. Shame convinces you to hide. It tells you to clean yourself up before coming closer. It whispers that you must earn back what was never revoked. I am not asking you to earn anything. I am asking you to receive what has always been available. When you stumble, I do not withdraw affection. When you struggle, I do not reduce my care. I see the full picture of your life, not just isolated moments. And in that full picture, I see growth you overlook. I see resilience you minimize. I see sincere desire beneath your imperfection. So stop agreeing with the voice that tells you you are fundamentally lacking. Challenge that voice. When it rises, counter it with truth. Say to yourself, I am still loved. I am still chosen. I am still seen. Do not let shame dictate your identity. You are more than your failures. You are more than your inconsistencies. I am inviting you to step out of hiding and into honest connection. You do not need to shrink in my presence. Stand fully as you are, and let my grace cover what you cannot fix on your own. You may wonder how to actually release shame when it feels so ingrained. It will not disappear simply because you wish it away. You must confront it deliberately. When you feel that familiar wave of self-criticism, pause instead of spiraling. Ask yourself where that narrative originated. Often, shame grows from comparison, from unrealistic expectations, from harsh voices you internalized long ago. Those voices are not mine. I speak correction when necessary, but my correction is specific and constructive, not vague and condemning. There is a difference between conviction and condemnation. Conviction points clearly and invites growth. Condemnation clouds everything and leaves you feeling hopeless. Learn to discern that difference. If a thought leaves you paralyzed and defeated, it is not my voice. If it invites you to adjust and move forward with clarity, it may be my gentle guidance. I want you to practice receiving correction without absorbing condemnation. That distinction will transform how you relate to me. Come closer even when you feel unworthy. Do not wait until you feel strong. Do not wait until you feel consistent. Approach me in your weakness. Let my love recalibrate your self-perception. And as you do this consistently, shame will begin to lose its grip. It will no longer dominate your internal dialogue. You will start to see yourself through a lens of grace rather than accusation. That shift will change how you move through life. You will take healthy risks. You will speak more confidently. You will stop apologizing for existing. I am not ashamed of you. I am invested in you. Receive that truth deeply. Let it settle into the spaces where self-doubt has lingered. You are not a disappointment to me. You are a work in progress, and I am actively shaping you with patience and love. My child, there is something in you that has learned to grip life with tight hands. You do not always notice it, because it feels responsible. It feels mature. It feels wise. You plan carefully. You anticipate outcomes. You rehearse conversations in your mind before they happen. You prepare for problems before they arrive. You call it wisdom, and sometimes it is. But beneath that careful planning, there is fear. Beneath that strategic thinking, there is a quiet belief that if you do not manage everything, everything might fall apart. I see how much pressure that places on you. I see how your thoughts rarely rest because you are always scanning the horizon for what might go wrong. You tell yourself you are just being proactive, but you are also carrying weight that was never assigned to you. Come closer and listen to me clearly. You are not the architect of the universe. You are not responsible for controlling every outcome in your life. You were never meant to live in constant calculation, constantly measuring risk and rehearsing response. The tight grip you hold over your plans has become exhausting. It has created tension in your body and in your spirit. You struggle to enjoy the present moment because your mind is busy negotiating the future. I want you to loosen that grip. I want you to unclench your hands, not recklessly, but intentionally. Trust does not mean passivity. Trust means releasing the illusion that you must carry the entire blueprint alone. When you try to control every variable, you end up confined by your own anxiety. You have noticed how hard it is for you to fully rest, even when nothing is actively wrong. That is because your mind does not power down easily. It remains on alert. It remains calculating. I am asking you to hand me the blueprint. Not because you are incapable, but because I see farther than you do. I understand outcomes you cannot yet perceive. You do not have to foresee every twist in the road. You do not have to prepare for every possible disappointment. Release that burden. Speak it aloud if you must. I do not need to control everything. Let those words sink into you. You may feel resistance when you say them. That resistance reveals how deeply control has rooted itself in you. But I am inviting you into something steadier than control. I am inviting you into partnership. Let me guide you. Make your plans, yes, but hold them loosely. Act responsibly, but refuse to carry the weight of ultimate outcomes. When uncertainty arises, do not spiral into overanalysis. Turn toward me instead. Ask for wisdom, then act in peace. You will discover that when you loosen your grip, your mind grows clearer, your heart grows lighter, and your trust deepens in a way that no amount of planning could ever produce. There is another layer beneath your need for control that you need to examine honestly. You have been hurt before. You have experienced situations where you felt blindsided, unprepared, exposed. Those experiences shaped you. You concluded that vigilance would protect you from being caught off guard again. You told yourself that if you think through every scenario, you can reduce the risk of pain. That instinct makes sense. It feels self-protective. But constant vigilance also keeps you tense. It prevents you from relaxing into joy. It robs you of spontaneity. It narrows your vision to potential threats instead of present blessings. I do not dismiss your past experiences. I know they affected you. I know you felt vulnerable. But your healing will not come from tighter control. It will come from deeper trust. I want you to practice something new. When you catch yourself overanalyzing, pause. Notice the tension in your body. Take a slow breath. Then deliberately hand that specific concern to me. Say, do you see this? You understand this? I do not need to solve it all right now. That small shift matters. It trains your heart to rely on me instead of solely on your own calculations. You may not feel instant relief the first time you do this. Trust is a muscle. It strengthens through repeated use. Keep choosing it. Keep surrendering control in small moments. And watch how your inner atmosphere changes. The sharp edge of anxiety will soften. The constant mental rehearsal will quiet. You will begin to experience what it feels like to move through life without gripping it so tightly. That is not irresponsibility. That is freedom. I am not asking you to abandon wisdom. I am asking you to release fear disguised as wisdom. You are not alone in managing your life. I am actively involved. I am guiding outcomes in ways you cannot always trace. When you surrender control, you are not stepping into chaos. You are stepping into trust. And trust will steady you far more effectively than control ever could. My child, there is something else I need you to face honestly. You have a habit of minimizing your own pain. When something hurts you, you quickly compare it to someone else's suffering and conclude that yours does not matter. You tell yourself you are being humble. You tell yourself you are being grateful. But often, you are simply dismissing your own emotional wounds. You say, it is not that serious. You say, others have it worse. And while it is true that suffering exists in many forms, that truth does not invalidate your experience. Your pain is not a competition. It does not require comparison to be legitimate. I see the way you downplay what affected you. I see how you brush off harsh words, broken expectations, unmet needs. You act as though resilience requires silence. But suppressed pain does not disappear. It settles into your body. It shapes your reactions. It influences your relationships. When you do not acknowledge your hurt, it quietly hardens you. I do not want you hardened. I want you healed. And healing begins with honesty. Stop telling yourself that your feelings are exaggerated. Stop dismissing your own wounds as insignificant. If something hurt you, it hurt you. That matters. Bring it to me without apology. Speak about it plainly. You do not need to dramatize it. You also do not need to minimize it. Simply acknowledge it. I am not irritated by your emotions. I am not exhausted by your vulnerability. I am attentive to your heart. When you allow yourself to recognize pain, you create space for healing. When you deny it, you prolong its influence. So right now, think about something that has been bothering you. Do not push it away. Let it surface. Name it. Admit that it affected you. And bring it to me. Let me sit with you in that reality. You do not have to carry unspoken hurt alone. There is strength in allowing yourself to feel what you feel without judgment. You have equated strength with suppression for too long. You thought maturity meant handling everything quietly. But unprocessed pain does not make you strong. It makes you guarded. It makes you reactive in subtle ways. I want you to experience strength rooted in healing, not in denial. That requires courage. It requires you to say, "This hurt me," without immediately adding justification or dismissal. Give yourself permission to grieve what did not go the way you hoped. Give yourself permission to acknowledge disappointment. You are not being weak by doing so. You are being honest. And honesty opens the door for restoration. When you bring your pain into my presence, I do not rush you past it. I do not tell you to get over it. I sit with you. I help you process it. I gently reshape your understanding. Over time, the sharpness of the wound will soften. But it softens through acknowledgement, not avoidance. So stop shrinking your experience. Stop silencing your heart to appear strong. Let me into the places that still ache. Tell me what hurt. Tell me what felt unfair. Tell me what confused you. I am not overwhelmed by your story. I care about it. And as you begin to treat your pain with honesty instead of dismissal, you will notice something change within you. You will become less reactive, less tense, less guarded. That is what healing does. It frees you from carrying invisible weight. You do not need to prove your toughness by minimizing your wounds. Let me tend to them. Let me restore what feels bruised. Your pain matters because you matter. And I am here to walk you through it, not rush you beyond it. My child, there is something tender I need to speak into now, and I want you to stay open while I do. You long to be loved deeply, yet you often retreat when love moves too close. You crave connection, yet when someone begins to see you clearly, something inside you stiffens. You become cautious. You measure your words. You protect your vulnerabilities. You tell yourself you are simply being wise, but much of the time you are being afraid. Afraid that if someone sees the whole of you, your doubts, your inconsistencies, your hidden struggles, they will step back. So you step back first. You manage distance carefully. You allow closeness, but only to a point. You offer warmth, but with boundaries that keep your core protected. And I understand why you developed this pattern. You were hurt before. You opened yourself and felt exposed. You trusted and felt disappointed. You gave and felt unseen. That history shaped you and taught you to build walls that look like maturity. But those walls have also limited your experience of love. They keep pain out, yes, but they also keep depth out. I did not design you for guarded living. I designed you for connection. That includes connection with others and connection with me. When you hold back emotionally, you also hold back spiritually. You approach me with restraint, as though you must maintain composure even in my presence. Let that go. I already see you fully. I am not startled by your complexity. I am not unsettled by your flaws. I am not keeping a mental list of your weaknesses. You are safe with me. And when you learn to receive my love without flinching, you will gradually find courage to receive love from others more freely as well. So examine your reflexes. Notice when you withdraw too quickly. Notice when you deflect compliments or downplay affection. Ask yourself what you are protecting, and bring that fear to me. Do not deny it. Do not justify it. Just acknowledge it. I will help you untangle it. You do not have to live emotionally armored. You do not have to brace yourself every time someone draws near. Open your heart a little wider. Allow yourself to be seen. Risk honesty. Risk depth. You are not as fragile as your fear suggests. And love, when it is healthy and grounded in truth, will not destroy you. It will strengthen you. There is another dimension to this that reaches even deeper. Sometimes you push my love away without realizing it. When I draw you into intimacy, you feel exposed. When I begin to gently reveal areas of growth, you interpret it as rejection. You assume that if I point to something in your life, it means I am dissatisfied with you as a whole. That assumption creates distance. You shrink back, thinking you have disappointed me. But correction does not equal rejection. Guidance does not equal withdrawal. When I bring something to your attention, it is because I see potential beyond where you currently stand. I am not interested in shaming you into change. I am invested in shaping you into wholeness. You must stop interpreting my involvement as criticism. It is care. I am not auditing your life to find faults. I am cultivating growth because I love you. So do not recoil when I speak into your life. Lean in. Ask questions. Stay engaged. When you feel that familiar urge to retreat emotionally, pause instead. Take a breath. Tell yourself you are safe. Remind yourself that love does not demand perfection. It invites authenticity. Practice receiving affection without suspicion. Practice staying present instead of withdrawing. When someone offers you kindness, do not dismiss it. When I offer you grace, do not question it. Accept it. Let it land. Let it reshape your understanding of worth. You do not need to earn closeness. You do not need to perform for acceptance. You are already known. You are already seen. You are already loved. And the more you internalize that truth, the less you will feel compelled to hide. Come forward without armor. Let yourself be embraced. You were not created to live behind emotional barriers. You were created to experience connection that is steady, sincere, and strong. My child, there is a quiet longing in you that you rarely name. It surfaces in unexpected moments, when you are driving alone, when you watch someone else step into something meaningful, when you sit in silence and feel an ache you cannot easily explain. You push it aside quickly. You tell yourself you should be content. You remind yourself of your responsibilities. You convince yourself that longing is dangerous because it might lead to disappointment. But that longing is not a flaw. It is not immaturity. It is a signal. It is a sacred restlessness that points to something deeper than routine. You have tried to shrink it. You have tried to silence it with practicality. But it remains. It whispers that there is more. More depth. More meaning. More alignment. More authenticity. You fear that acknowledging it might disrupt the stability you have built. You worry it might require change. You wonder if it is selfish to desire something beyond what you currently have. I want you to listen carefully. That longing was not planted in you by accident. I placed it there. It is part of your design. It is a compass, not a curse. It nudges you when you settle for less than what aligns with your calling. It stirs when you drift into complacency. It awakens when you begin to live on autopilot. Do not suppress it out of fear. Instead, examine it with me. Bring that restlessness into conversation. Ask me what it points toward. Ask me what it reveals about your heart. You may discover that it is not about external change at all. It may be about deeper connection, clearer purpose, renewed passion. But you will never know if you keep silencing it. So stop dismissing that inner pull. Stop labeling it as ingratitude. Sit with it. Let it speak. I am not trying to destabilize your life. I am inviting you into growth that feels aligned and alive. You are not meant to merely exist. You are meant to engage fully with who you are becoming. And longing can feel uncomfortable because it disrupts complacency. It does not allow you to remain numb. It challenges you to consider whether your current patterns truly reflect your values, and that examination can feel threatening. but avoiding it only prolongs internal tension. You cannot permanently silence a call that originates from your core. It will resurface until you address it. So instead of resisting it, lean toward it. Ask yourself what you truly desire beneath the surface. Not what looks impressive, not what seems practical, but what resonates deeply with your spirit. Bring those desires to me without embarrassment. I am not surprised by them. I am not annoyed by them. I want to shake them with wisdom, not suppress them with fear. You do not need to make impulsive decisions in response to longing. You need to explore it thoughtfully. You need to discern its source. Some desires require refinement. Some require patience. Some require courage. Let me guide you through that process. Do not rush it. Do not ignore it. Hold it carefully in my presence. Over time, clarity will form. You will recognize which aspects of your longing are aligned with your growth and which are rooted in comparison or insecurity. That discernment will strengthen you. It will move you from vague restlessness to intentional direction. You are not wrong for wanting more depth, more meaning, more alignment. Those desires can lead you closer to your calling when handled with wisdom. So do not bury your longing under busyness. Do not anesthetize it with distraction. Bring it into the light. Let it become a conversation between us. I will not mock your desire for more. I will guide it toward something lasting. And as you begin to honor that inner pull instead of fearing it, you will feel your life gain clarity and cohesion. You are not meant to suppress your deepest desires. You are meant to steward them with courage and trust. My child, I want you to sit with a memory you do not often revisit directly. There were moments when you felt invisible, not physically unseen, but emotionally overlooked. You showed up. You contributed. You tried. And still, it seemed as though others were recognized while you remained in the background. You watched doors open for people around you. You observed opportunities unfold for others who, in your mind, did not work harder than you. You tried to be gracious. You told yourself comparison was unhealthy. Yet something inside you died. You wondered whether I had forgotten you. You asked quietly whether your effort even mattered. I was there in those moments. I saw your composed expression when someone else was celebrated. I saw your private disappointment afterward. You did not want to appear bitter, so you swallowed the feeling. You convinced yourself it was childish to care. But you did care. And that does not make you shallow. It makes you human. You long to be acknowledged. You long for affirmation. You long to feel seen. I need you to understand something clearly. Being overlooked in a season does not mean being forgotten in your story. Delay is not denial. Quiet growth is not wasted growth. While you were watching others move ahead, I was strengthening you in ways that visibility could not provide. I was refining your motives. I was building resilience. I was shaping character that would sustain you when attention finally came. You thought nothing was happening because the spotlight was not on you. But I was doing deep work beneath the surface. Roots grow in hidden soil. They do not require applause. And strong roots matter more than sudden recognition. So stop measuring your value by who notices you. Stop concluding that silence from others equals silence from me. I have never overlooked you. I have never confused your name with someone else's. I have never misplaced your purpose. Even when your contribution went uncelebrated, it was not unseen. Every faithful step, every quiet act of integrity, every unseen sacrifice was recorded. I do not reward performance alone. I honor perseverance. So lift your head. Release the comparison that has quietly wounded you. Your timeline is not defective. It is deliberate. Now I want you to take this further. Instead of replaying moments when you felt passed over, ask yourself what those seasons produced in you. Did they cultivate humility? Did they deepen your empathy? Did they expose insecurities you needed to confront? Often the places where you felt unseen were the very places where your character matured most. Recognition can inflate pride when it arrives too soon. Visibility without depth can weaken you. I was not withholding affirmation to punish you. I was preparing you. You may not yet see how those overlooked seasons fit into your larger calling, but you will. In time, you will recognize that patience was forming in you like quiet steel. You will see that stability was growing where envy once threatened to take root. And when your moment arrives, you will carry it with steadiness rather than fragility. But you must cooperate with this shaping. Do not let bitterness take hold. Do not rehearse narratives that portray you as perpetually forgotten. Replace those narratives with truth. Tell yourself, I'm being formed, not ignored. Then act accordingly. Continue showing up with integrity. Continue investing effort without immediate applause. Continue trusting that I see what others miss. When jealousy whispers, confront it gently. Admit it. Bring it to me. Do not pretend it does not exist. I will help you untangle it. And as you shift your focus from comparison to growth, you will feel something change inside you. You will no longer need constant validation to feel secure. Your confidence will anchor in something deeper than recognition. That is strength. That is stability. And that is what I have been cultivating in you all along. You are not invisible. You are in preparation. Stay steady. Stay faithful. I am guiding your steps even when the world does not applaud them. You have felt unseen before, but when you give to carry my word, heaven sees you clearly. Every super thanks, every membership, every PayPal offering, the PayPal link rests in the video description, is not applause for a channel. It is fuel for a fire that reaches hearts in hidden rooms. I told you that what is done in secret, I reward openly, and I am speaking that over you now. When you sow quietly, you become like roots beneath the soil, unnoticed by the crowd, yet essential to the harvest. If you have ever prayed, use me, Lord, this is me answering you. Do not measure the size of your gift. Measure the obedience of your response. I will breathe on what you release, multiply it like loaves in my hands, and return it to you as strength, provision, and favor. Step out of comparison and into commission. Give now, and let your faith become light for someone still waiting to be seen. My child, you have a habit of underestimating yourself. You look at your struggles and conclude that you are fragile. You focus on your moments of doubt and assume they define you. You compare your internal battles to someone else's outward composure and decide that you are weaker. But I see something different when I look at you. I see endurance. I see quiet courage. I see a resilience that you dismiss because it does not look dramatic. You measure strength by visible victory, by confident speech, by unshaken demeanor. Yet much of your strength has been invisible. It has shown up in your decision to get out of bed when discouragement weighed heavily. It has shown up in your choice to remain kind when bitterness felt justified. It has shown up in your willingness to keep believing even when clarity was absent. You did not call those actions strength. You called them survival. But survival in faith is not small. It is sacred. You have walked through seasons that could have hardened you completely. You have experienced disappointments that could have convinced you to close off permanently. Yet here you are, still seeking me, still listening, still hoping. That is not weakness. That is strength. You may not feel powerful, but you are not powerless. Strength is not always loud. Sometimes it is steady. Sometimes it is quiet consistency. Sometimes it is choosing integrity when compromise would be easier. You have done that more times than you realize. Stop dismissing it. Stop reducing yourself to your worst days. A single difficult season does not erase the courage you have displayed repeatedly. Look at your history honestly. Notice how many challenges you survived. Notice how many times you adapted and kept moving. That endurance did not come from nothing. It grew from within you, supported by my presence. So when you tell yourself you are weak, pause. Challenge that narrative. Ask yourself whether it is accurate or simply familiar. You are stronger than you think. And I want you to begin seeing yourself through a clear lens. Strength does not mean the absence of emotion. It does not mean you never feel overwhelmed. You have equated vulnerability with fragility, but that is not the same thing. You can feel deeply and still be strong. You can admit uncertainty and still be resilient. In fact, your willingness to keep showing up despite emotional strain reveals maturity. I want you to recognize that. Do not wait for dramatic breakthroughs to validate your growth. Pay attention to the steady progress you have made. You react differently than you once did. You recover faster from setbacks. You apologize more quickly when you are wrong. Those shifts are evidence of development. They are proof that you are evolving. And I am proud of that progress. Not because you are flawless, but because you are responsive. You allow correction. You consider feedback. You seek alignment. That humility strengthens you more than stubborn pride ever could. So stand a little taller. Stop narrating your life through a lens of deficiency. Speak over yourself with truth. Say, I am growing. I am learning. I am stronger than I was. Not as empty affirmation, but as grounded recognition. Then continue walking forward. Continue engaging challenges without retreating into self-doubt. You do not need to become someone else to be effective. You need to recognize the strength already developing within you. And as you do, you will approach life with greater confidence and less fear. You will trust your capacity to handle what comes next. Not because you are invincible, but because you are supported. I am with you. I am strengthening you daily. And the resilience forming in you now will sustain you through seasons you have not yet imagined. Believe that. Embrace it. Walk in it. My child, there were moments when you felt me drawing you closer, and you resisted. I am not saying that to accuse you. I am saying it because I want you to understand what was happening inside you. You sensed a pull toward deeper surrender. You felt conviction about certain habits, certain relationships, certain patterns of thinking. And instead of leaning in, you stepped back. You distracted yourself. You postponed the conversation. You told yourself it was not the right time. I watched you do that, and I did not turn away in frustration. I understood that you were afraid. When I draw you closer, I do not only comfort you, I also refine you. And refinement feels vulnerable and exposes motivation. It uncovers attachments. It challenges the versions of yourself that you have grown comfortable maintaining. So you hesitated. You worried that if you let me fully into that space, I would dismantle more than you were ready to release. You worried that surrender would cost you too much. But listen carefully. When you turned away, I did not retreat from you. I stayed near. I waited with patience. I did not withdraw my love because you resisted growth. I knew you were navigating fear. You were protecting what felt stable. Even if that stability was imperfect, it was familiar. You feared losing control. You feared losing identity. You feared disappointing others if you changed direction. So you chose distance over depth. You chose comfort over transformation. I did not shame you for that. I understood the tension. Yet I also knew that the longer you delayed surrender, the heavier your internal conflict would become. And you have felt that conflict. It shows up as restlessness. It shows up as subtle dissatisfaction. It shows up as knowing there is more, yet resisting the step toward it. I am speaking to that tension now. Do not run from it again. Do not postpone this conversation. Stay present. Let me guide you into what you once avoided. I am not here to strip you of joy. I am here to align you with freedom. The parts of your life I highlight are not targets for destruction. They are invitations for growth. So instead of bracing yourself, soften. Instead of retreating, lean forward. Instead of defending your patterns, examine them. You are not going to lose yourself in surrender. You are going to discover who you were meant to be beyond the layers of fear. There is something powerful that happens when you stop running from my voice and allow it to shape you. You begin to feel congruence inside. Internal friction decreases. You no longer have to compartmentalize your life, separating what you show me from what you keep guarded. That division has drained you more than you realized. You have carried the tension of partial surrender. You gave me parts of your life while quietly protecting others. And that partial openness created inconsistency in your peace. I am inviting you into wholeness now. Not perfection. Wholeness. Bring the guarded areas forward. Admit where you resisted. Admit where you delayed obedience. Speak it without shame. I already know. There is freedom in naming what you avoided. When you acknowledge it, the fear loses strength. Then allow me to lead you through it step by step. I will not overwhelm you. I will not demand everything at once. But I will ask for honesty. I will ask for willingness. I will ask you to trust that my direction is not arbitrary. It is purposeful. And as you begin to respond differently, you will feel something shift. The restlessness that once lingered will start to settle. The internal debate will quiet. You will move with greater clarity because you are no longer divided within yourself. That is the gift of surrender. It simplifies your life. It aligns your heart. It deepens your peace. So stop turning away when you sense my nudge. Do not label it inconvenience. Do not label it pressure. Recognize it as love guiding you. Come forward this time. Stay with the discomfort long enough for transformation to begin. You will not regret leaning in. You will regret staying distant. And I am here, ready to walk you through what you once avoided. My child, there is a quiet standard you hold over yourself that no one else sees. You measure your progress against timelines you created. You evaluate your maturity by expectations you absorb from others. You tell yourself that by now you should have figured more out. You think you should be further ahead spiritually, emotionally, professionally. When you fall short of those internal benchmarks, you feel disappointed in yourself. That disappointment shapes your self-talk. You become your own critic. You replay mistakes with intensity. You analyze your responses in conversations. You question whether you are growing fast enough. That constant self-evaluation is exhausting. It keeps you from appreciating the ground you have already covered. You assume growth must look dramatic to be meaningful. But much of your growth has been gradual. It has unfolded quietly. You have become more patient in ways you do not celebrate. You have become more reflective in ways you barely notice. You have responded with more restraint in situations where you once would have reacted impulsively. Those changes matter. Yet you dismiss them because they do not fit your image of rapid transformation. I want you to reconsider how you define progress. You are not a project to be rushed. You are a person being shaped over time. And time is not your enemy. It is part of the process. You do not need to arrive at a final version of yourself by a specific age or stage. That pressure is self-imposed. I am not standing over you with a stopwatch. I am walking with you at a pace that develops depth, not just speed. So release the demand for immediate mastery. Release the harsh internal dialogue that says you are behind. You are not behind. You are becoming. That process requires patience with yourself. Extend to yourself the same grace you readily offer others. When you stumble, correct gently. When you learn, acknowledge it. Stop narrating your life as though you are perpetually deficient. Speak truth over your journey. You are progressing, even if the progress feels subtle. Let that realization ease the weight you have placed on your own shoulders. There is another layer to this pressure that deserves your attention. You fear that if you relax your standards, you will become complacent. You worry that self-compassion will weaken your drive. But self-compassion does not eliminate discipline. It stabilizes it. When you are constantly critical of yourself, you create internal tension that drains motivation. You end up striving from insecurity rather than purpose. I want you to pursue growth from a place of stability, not from fear of inadequacy. That shift changes everything. It transforms your goals from desperate attempts to prove yourself into sincere efforts to develop your gifts. I am not asking you to lower your aspirations. I am asking you to change the foundation from which you pursue them. Do not chase improvement because you feel insufficient. Pursue it because you are already valued and you want to steward your potential well. That mindset will produce healthier fruit. So the next time you catch yourself saying, I should be further, pause. Replace it with, I am growing at a meaningful pace. Then act accordingly. Continue learning. Continue refining. But refuse to carry the weight of unrealistic timelines. You do not need to compete with anyone's journey. You do not need to meet every expectation at once. Your development is intentional. I am shaping you in ways that require patience. Trust that pace. Trust that timing. Trust that you are not late. As you release the pressure to be instantly perfected, you will notice a shift in your energy. You will feel less frantic, less self-critical, more grounded. That grounding will strengthen your resolve more effectively than relentless self-criticism ever could. You are not failing because you are still learning. You are maturing. Allow yourself that space. Walk forward with steady confidence instead of anxious urgency. I am not disappointed in your progress. I am committed to it. My child, I need you to sit with something that has been quietly shaping your nights and your private thoughts. You spend more time in imagined futures than you realize. You run scenarios in your mind. You picture conversations that have not happened yet. You anticipate outcomes before there is evidence for them. Sometimes you call it preparation. Sometimes you call it discernment. But often it is anxiety disguised as wisdom. You rehearse potential disappointments as if bracing will soften their impact. You imagine worst-case outcomes so you will not be caught off guard. And in doing so, you exhaust yourself before anything has even happened. I see how your chest tightens when you think about what might go wrong. I see how your mind moves quickly from possibility to catastrophe. You feel responsible for preparing for every turn. You think vigilance will protect you. But that constant projection into the future steals from your present peace. It drains your energy. It pulls you away from what is in front of you. Come back to now. Right here. Right in this moment. Breathe slowly. Notice where you are sitting. Feel your body relax even slightly. You are not in the disaster you imagine. You are here, and I am here with you. The future you fear has not arrived. Do not punish yourself for events that have not happened. You are not required to solve tomorrow today. I hold tomorrow already. I understand outcomes you cannot foresee. When you attempt to manage the future through endless mental rehearsal, you are trying to carry what belongs to me. Release it deliberately. When your thoughts begin racing ahead, interrupt them gently. Say to yourself, I will face that when it comes. Then bring your attention back to what is real right now. This is not denial. It is discipline. It is choosing grounded trust over anxious anticipation. I am not asking you to ignore responsibility. I am asking you to stop living in hypothetical harm. You deserve present peace, and that peace becomes possible when you refuse to live in imagined fear. There is something deeper beneath your future-focused anxiety. You are afraid of being unprepared. You fear being exposed as inadequate. You fear that if something unexpected happens, you will not have what it takes to respond. That fear has driven you to overthink and overanalyze. But let me tell you something gently and firmly. You will not be given tomorrow's strength today. You will receive what you need when you need it. That has always been the pattern. Look back honestly. When challenges arose in the past, you found capacity you did not know you possessed. You adapted. You endured. You learned. That resilience did not appear months in advance. It surfaced in the moment it was required. The same will be true moving forward. You do not need to preload every possible scenario. You need to trust that I will meet you in the moment of need. Practice this. When anxiety about the future rises, do not let it spiral unchecked. Bring it to me immediately. Speak it out loud if necessary. Then ask me for clarity for today only. Focus on what is within your current reach. Make wise decisions in the present. Leave the rest with me. That is not passivity. That is partnership. Your mind does not have to be a battlefield. It can become a place of steady trust. But that transformation requires intentional redirection. Choose it repeatedly. Choose to stay present. Choose to believe that you are not alone in navigating what lies ahead. You are not stepping into uncertainty by yourself. I am already there, and I will not abandon you when the unknown becomes reality. So loosen your grip on imagined outcomes. Lie fully where you stand. The future will unfold in its time, and when it does, you will discover that you are more prepared than your fear ever allowed you to believe. My child, beneath all the noise, beneath all the striving, beneath all the mental rehearsal, there is a quiet invitation you keep sensing. It is subtle. It is steady. It does not shout. It simply remains. You feel it when you are alone and honest with yourself. You feel it when your usual distractions fail to satisfy. You feel it when your accomplishments do not fully quiet your restlessness. That invitation is me drawing you into deeper alignment. Not deeper activity. Not more tasks. Alignment. You have sensed that your life could feel more integrated, more centered, more anchored. You have sensed that your relationship with me could be more than occasional conversation. And yet, you hesitate. You wonder what responding fully would require. You fear that saying yes to that invitation might disrupt your routines. You suspect it might call you to reorder priorities. You are correct. It will. But not to diminish you. To ground you. To anchor you in something stronger than fluctuating circumstances. I am not inviting you into heavy burden. I am inviting you into deeper intimacy. And intimacy requires attention. It requires intention. It requires that you stop treating your connection with me as an afterthought. So listen carefully. Set aside time deliberately, not as a rushed obligation, but as a chosen meeting. Silence the noise. Put down the device. Sit with me without multitasking. You may feel awkward at first. Say anyway. Let the silence stretch. Let your thoughts settle. Speak to me honestly about what you have been carrying. And listen. You will not always hear dramatic direction. Often you will sense calm clarity. You will feel gentle correction. You will experience quiet reassurance. That is how intimacy grows. It develops through consistent presence. And as you respond to this invitation, your life will begin to feel more cohesive. Decisions will feel less chaotic. Your identity will feel less fragmented. You will move with greater steadiness because you are anchored in relationship rather than reaction. Do not treat this invitation lightly. It is not random. It hath been persistent because it is purposeful. You have tried to ignore it. You have postponed it. You have told yourself you will engage more deeply when life slows down. But life rarely slows on its own. You must choose to create space. You must choose to prioritize depth over distraction. That choice will not isolate you from the world. It will strengthen you within it. When you cultivate closeness with me, you gain perspective that cannot be manufactured through analysis alone. You begin to discern what truly matters. You become less reactive and more grounded. You stop chasing validation because you are rooted in identity. But you must respond. An invitation requires acceptance. So answer it. Say yes intentionally. Rearrange your schedule if necessary. Protect time for connection. Do not reduce this to a vague intention. Make it concrete. Decide when you will meet with me. Commit to it. Then follow through even when you do not feel immediate emotional reward. Depth is built through consistency, not intensity. As you honor this invitation repeatedly, you will notice a shift in your internal atmosphere. Peace will become more natural. Clarity will increase. The restless edge you have felt will begin to soften. This is not about performance. It is about presence. I am not asking you to impress me. I am asking you to be with me. And as you choose that, your life will gradually reflect alignment rather than fragmentation. The invitation is still open. Step into it. Do not delay again. I am ready to meet you more deeply than you have allowed so far. My child, I want you to imagine something for a moment, not as fantasy, but as possibility. Imagine what your life would feel like if you stopped performing for approval. Imagine waking up without the constant background pressure to prove your worth. Imagine moving through your day without rehearsing how others perceive you. You have grown so accustomed to self-monitoring that you rarely notice how often you adjust yourself to fit expectations. You filter your words. You soften your convictions. You amplify certain strengths and hide certain weaknesses. You do this so instinctively that it feels normal. But that constant internal editing is draining you. You are living in subtle self-surveillance. You are curating your image in ways that fragment your peace. I did not create you to live divided between who you are and who you think you must appear to be. Freedom begins where pretense ends. And I am inviting you into that freedom now. Stop performing. Stop measuring your value by how well you maintain a polished exterior. Come to me unfiltered. Speak to me without managing impressions. Let your words be simple. Let your thoughts be honest. You do not need to sound impressive in my presence. You do not need to demonstrate spiritual vocabulary. You need authenticity. That is where transformation begins. When you remove the mask, you breathe differently. When you stop curating your persona, your shoulders relax. You may not even realize how tense you have been. The performance has become second nature. But imagine living with internal congruence, where what you think, what you say, and what you feel are aligned. That alignment produces strength that no external validation can replicate. So begin practicing honesty in small ways. Admit when you are unsure. Admit when you are tired. Admit when you are tempted. Do not hide those realities behind forced optimism. Bring them into the light. That is not weakness. It is maturity. You cannot heal what you conceal. And you do not need to conceal anything from me. I already see the whole picture. I already understand the layers. Let yourself be known. As you do, you will notice something subtle yet powerful. The internal pressure to maintain an image will decrease. The need to control perception will loosen. You will move through life with steadier confidence because you are no longer divided within yourself. That is freedom, and it is available to you. There is another layer to this freedom that you have only partially experienced. When you stop performing, you also stop fearing exposure. You stop worrying that someone might discover the parts of you that feel unfinished. You begin to accept that growth is ongoing. That acceptance changes the way you engage with others. You become less defensive. You become more open to feedback. You stop reacting to every perceived criticism as a threat. That internal security does not emerge overnight. It develops as you repeatedly choose authenticity over appearance. I want you to practice this intentionally. The next time you feel the urge to exaggerate your strength or conceal your weakness, pause. Ask yourself why. Then choose truth instead. You do not need to overshare, but you do need to stop pretending. And as you cultivate this honesty with yourself and with me, you will experience a new kind of rest. Not the rest that comes from escaping responsibility, but the rest that comes from being fully present as yourself. You will stop chasing affirmation because your identity will feel anchored. You will stop shrinking in insecurity because you will know who you are. My confidence does not come from flawless performance. It comes from relational grounding. It comes from knowing that you are loved as you are while still being shaped toward growth. So step into that freedom deliberately. Refuse to return to exhausting self-presentation. Choose alignment. Choose integrity. Choose authenticity. You may feel exposed at first. Stay anyway. The discomfort will fade as confidence grows. And what will remain is a steadiness you have long desired. You do not need to earn the right to exist comfortably in your own skin. You already have it. Walk in it. Live in it. Let it transform how you carry yourself in every space you enter. My child, you have listened this far. You have allowed these words to settle in places you often avoid. Now you stand at a quiet crossroads. Not a dramatic one with flashing lights and urgent alarms, but a steady, personal decision point. You can continue living as you have been, partially open, occasionally reflective, frequently distracted, or you can choose something deeper. I am not presenting you with condemnation. I am presenting you with clarity. You had heard my heart. You have recognized patterns within yourself. You have sensed where fear has shaped your choices. Now you must decide what you will do with that awareness. Awareness without action slowly fades into regret. Insight without response becomes another abandoned intention. I do not want this to become another moment you reflect on briefly and then set aside. I wanted to shape you. So consider your next step carefully. Not your entire future. Yes, your next step. What needs to change? What needs to be confronted? What needs to be surrendered? Do not overwhelm yourself with grand resolutions. Focus on one concrete decision. Identify one area where you will respond differently. That may be committing to consistent time with me, It may be addressing a conversation you have avoided. It may be releasing a habit that has quietly hindered your growth. Whatever it is, name it clearly and commit to it. Write it down if necessary. Speak it aloud. Let it move from vague intention to deliberate action. I am not asking you to perfect yourself in a day. I am asking you to choose alignment in one specific area. That choice matters more than you realize. Small decisions compound. They reshape direction. They alter momentum. And as you act, you will feel a strengthening within you. Action reinforces identity. When you respond to truth, you begin to see yourself differently. You begin to trust your own willingness to grow. So do not let this moment dissolve into abstraction. Accurate indecision. Choose deliberately. Move intentionally. I am with you as you step forward. There is something sacred about choice. I will not override your will. I will not force transformation upon you. Love does not coerce. He invites. And you have been invited repeatedly. The question is whether you will accept, not in vague agreement but in concrete response. You may feel resistance even now. You may think, I will change gradually. That is fine, but do not use gradual growth as an excuse for indefinite delay. Begin somewhere. Begin today. When this conversation ends, take immediate action in one area. Even a small step breaks inertia. And inertia is what has kept certain patterns intact. I want you moving, not stagnating. I want you engaging, not postponing. This is not about pressure. It is about purpose. You have sensed that your life could feel more integrated, more grounded, more aligned. That shift will not happen accidentally. It requires participation. It requires willingness. So choose now. Decide to respond. Decide to trust. Decide to step into growth even if it feels uncomfortable. And as you do, watch what happens internally. You will feel a quiet strength rise. You will feel clarity sharpen. You will notice that peace increases when you act in alignment with what you know to be true. That is not coincidence. It is congruence. Your outer choices begin to match your inner convictions. That alignment produces stability that no external circumstance can easily shake. So do not let this moment pass as just another thoughtful reflection. Turn it into a pivot point. Let it mark the beginning of deeper engagement. I am not standing over you with impatience. I am standing beside you with encouragement. Take the step. Make the decision. Move forward with intention. I am ready to support you in what you choose to pursue. My child, I want you to settle into one simple, steady truth. My heart toward you has never shifted. Not on your worst day. Not in your seasons of distance. Not in your moments of doubt. You have questioned my posture toward you more than you realize. You have wondered if I was tired of correcting you. You have feared that I might eventually lose patience with your slow growth. You have imagined that my love fluctuates based on your consistency. Let me speak plainly and without complication. My love for you is not fragile. It does not shrink when you struggle. It does not cool when you hesitate. It does not retreat when you resist. I am not watching you with suspicion. I am not tracking your failures with a ledger of disappointment. I am invested in your wholeness. I am attentive to your process. I am committed to your becoming. When I ask you to hear me out, it is not because I need validation. It is because I desire connection. I want you to understand that every correction I give is rooted in care. Every nudge is shaped by purpose. Every pause is guided by wisdom. I have never been careless with your life. Even when you could not see the pattern, I was present. Even when you misinterpreted silence, I was near. Even when you turned away, I remained steady. Sit with that reality. Let it settle deeply into the parts of you that still feel uncertain. You do not have to brace yourself in my presence. You do not have to anticipate rejection. I am not searching for reasons to withdraw. I am searching for ways to draw you closer. And I am inviting you now to rest in that security. Stop negotiating your worth in your own mind. Stop assuming I'm disappointed when you are simply developing. Release that narrative. Replace it with truth. You are loved in progress. You are cherished in process. You are guided with intention. Let that reshape how you approach me. Come confidently. Speak openly. Stay present. I am not measuring you against an invisible standard. I am walking with you through transformation. Now I want you to do something intentional. Close your eyes for a moment, if you can. Take a slow breath. Picture yourself standing before me without pretense. Not polished. Not perfected. Just honest. Notice that I am not frowning. Notice that I am not distant. Notice that my posture is open. That is not imagination. That is reality. I am not reluctantly tolerating you. I delight in you, even in your unfinished state, especially in your unfinished state. Growth excites me. Surrender strengthens you. Alignment steadies you. And I am patient with every stage. So as you move forward from here, carry this truth with you. When you falter, return quickly. Do not spiral into shame. When you succeed, remain grounded. Do not drift into pride. When you feel uncertain, ask. Do not assume distance. I am here in every phase, and I will continue to speak into your life, not with harshness, but with clarity and compassion. You asked, perhaps silently, whether I truly care enough to keep engaging you. Let me answer clearly. I care beyond what you can measure. I am committed beyond what you can calculate. I am faithful beyond what your past experiences have taught you to expect. So walk forward with that assurance. Do not carry fear of abandonment. Do not rehearse worst-case spiritual scenarios. Trust my character. Anchor yourself in my consistency. And when doubt tries to whisper again, remember this moment. Remember that I spoke directly to you. Remember that I invited you closer, not pushed you away. I am not finished with you. I am not frustrated with you. I am for you. Let that truth steady your steps. Let it quiet your anxiety. Let it soften your defenses. And whenever you feel yourself drifting, come back. Hear me out again. I will always speak with love. Now that you know my heart toward you, let your heart move with mine. When you support this mission through super thanks, membership, or a PayPal donation, the PayPal link is in the video description. You become a river carrying my voice into dry places. I said, freely you have received, freely give, and I am speaking that living word into you right now. This is how light spreads, one obedient spark at a time. If something within you is stirring, that is not pressure. It is purpose calling your name. Do not treat this as a casual suggestion. This is a holy partnership, a divine exchange where your seed becomes someone else's answered prayer. As you give, I will cover your house with peace, multiply what you release, and establish the work of your hands. Stand with me in this hour. Give boldly, give faithfully, and act now. And once you have responded, allow your heart to settle into stillness. Obedience is not only movement outward, it is an invitation inward and a deeper communion with me. What you have released in faith begins to quiet the striving that has filled your spirit. This is the moment where action gives way to listening, where your heart becomes open and attentive. So step away from the noise for a moment, because I am calling you into a place where my voice can be clearly heard. My child, I am calling you. I want you to stop right now. I need you to set aside the phone, the noise, and the endless mental checklists that have been draining your spirit since the moment you opened your eyes this morning. I am inviting you to step into this sacred silence with me because I have things to tell you that the world cannot hear. You have been running so fast, trying to keep up with the frantic pace of an earthly world that never stops demanding more from you. You feel that constant, low-level hum of pressure in your chest, don't you? You feel the weight of the expectations placed on your shoulders by your boss, your family, and even by yourself. I see the way you carry that heavy backpack of what-ifs and should-haves into every room you enter. I am telling you now, lay it down. Drop the heavy burdens you have been dragging through the dirt all day. You were never meant to carry them alone, and you certainly weren't meant to carry them into my presence. Pause now. Close your eyes and breathe in my peace. I want you to recognize that this silence isn't empty, it is full of me. I am here in the quiet space between your racing thoughts. I am the stillness that precedes the storm, and I am the peace that remains after the clouds break. You often look for me in the loud, the grand, and the spectacular, but I am asking you to find me in the whisper. I am the gentle breath against your cheek. I am the warmth that settles in your heart when the world finally goes dark and quiet. I am inviting you to my secret place, a sanctuary built just for us, where the noise of the city and the shouting of the headlines cannot reach you. Do you hear my voice? It is not a voice of condemnation or a voice of more demands. It is a voice of rest. I am preparing your spirit right now to receive a heavenly download. I want to pour my wisdom into your mind, but I cannot pour into a cup that is already overflowing with the toxic noise of the world. You must empty yourself first. You must consciously decide to let go of the argument you had earlier, the anxiety about your bank account, and the fear of what tomorrow might bring. I command you to be still. I invite you to surrender your need to know everything. I am your God, and I am already standing in your tomorrow, making the rough path smooth. Trust me in this silence. This stillness is necessary because it recalibrates your soul. It strips away the lies you've been told about your worth and reminds you that you are mine. I will guide you through this conversation, but you must stay present with me. I am the anchor for your drifting heart. You are precious to me, and I refuse to let you drown in the chaos of your own life. I am breaking the chains of distraction that have kept us apart for too long. I am speaking directly to the part of you that feels exhausted and overlooked. I see the real you, the one behind the mask of I'm fine. I am telling you today, you don't have to be fine. You just have to be here. I am opening the windows of heaven to refresh your tired spirit. I am giving you a new perspective that the world cannot offer. I am your Father, and I am reaching out to hold you. Step into this silence. Let my glory wash over you. I am about to do something new in your life, and it begins right here, in the quiet, with me. I want you to listen closely, because the world is a canyon of echoes, and not every voice you hear is speaking the truth to you. You are constantly bombarded by 1,000 different frequencies, the screaming demands of your social circle, the deceptive whispers of the enemy that tell you you aren't enough, and the cold, hard logic of a society that forgets I am still on the throne. I am calling you to sharpen your spiritual ears today. You must learn to discern my truth from the clever deceptions of the one who wants to see you fail. My voice will never contradict the words I breathed into the scriptures. If you hear a thought that brings confusion, chaos, or a sense of worthlessness, let me be clear. That is not me. I am the God of order and the Prince of Peace. I am telling you now, if a path feels like it's leading you into a dark tunnel with no exit, stop walking. My voice is the one that leads to life, even when the road looks narrow and steep. Feel the peace that surpasses all understanding beginning to settle over you right now. Use that peace as your compass. I have placed it within you as a divine signpost. When you are faced with a difficult decision, perhaps about that job offer that feels wrong or that relationship that leaves you drained, check your heart. Is there a deep-seated rest there, or is there a frantic knot of anxiety? I am inviting you to filter out the noise of other people's expectations. You have spent so much of your life trying to satisfy the voices that say you should be further along, more successful, or more put together. I command you to tune the frequency of your heart to my spirit alone. I am the only one who truly knows the blueprint of your soul. I am your creator, and my opinion is the only one that carries eternal weight. You feel the shift. I'm helping you strip away the layers of people-pleasing that have muffled my whisper. I want you to understand that my voice is a frequency of love. It doesn't sound like a drill sergeant. It sounds like a father who is proud of his child. I will guide you with my eye upon you, but you must be willing to turn away from the static of the world. I am breaking the power of the lies that say I am distant or silent. I have never stopped speaking. You have simply been too busy to hear. I am promising you today that as you lean into me, the static will fade. The confusion will lift like a morning mist. I will give you a clarity that makes your next step obvious. I am your light in the darkness. Trust the resonance of my spirit within you. When I speak, your spirit will leap in recognition, just as a child recognizes the footstep of their parent in the hallway. I am here, and I am speaking life over you. I need you to look at me. Truly look at me. I love you before the foundations of the world were even laid. Before the stars were flung into space, I saw your face, and I chose you. My love for you is not a reaction to your behavior. It is an outpouring of my nature. You have spent so much energy trying to earn what I have already given you for free. I see those hidden scars you tried to cover up. The ones from that betrayal years ago. The ones from the mistakes you made in your youth. And the ones you gave yourself through self-criticism. I am telling you today, my grace is more than sufficient for every single one of them. I am the great physician, and I am not afraid of your wounds. I am not repelled by your brokenness. In fact, I am drawn to it. I want to pour the oil of my spirit into those jagged edges until you are whole again. You are not defined by your past transgressions. I have cast your sins as far as the east is from the west. So why do you keep going back to the graveyard to dig them up? I command you to stop identifying yourself by your failures. You are not the one who failed. You are the one I redeemed. I want you to start seeing yourself through my eyes, not through the warped mirrors of your past or the harsh judgments of those who don't know your heart. You are my masterpiece. You are my prized possession. I gave the ultimate proof of your worth when I sent my son to the cross. That sacrifice wasn't for a concept of humanity. It was for you. I would have done it if you were the only soul on earth. Your worth is non-negotiable in my kingdom. It is not up for debate. It doesn't fluctuate based on your bank account, your relationship status, or your productivity. I am inviting you to rest in this love. Stop the striving. Stop the performance. I am your Father, and I love you simply because you are mine. I see the beauty in you that you have forgotten existed. I am calling forth the gold from the ashes of your life. I am declaring over you right now that you are cherished, you are wanted, and you are deeply, deeply loved. I am the love that never fails, never gives up, and never runs out. I am your safe harbor. When the world tells you that you are a burden, listen to my voice saying you are a blessing. I am wrapping my arms around you, shielding you from the lies of the accuser. I am your God, and my love is the solid rock on which you can finally stand. Feel it sinking deep into your bones. You are mine, and nothing, neither height nor depth, nor things present nor things to come, will ever tear you from my hand. My child, why have you been hiding from me? I see you standing behind the trees of your shame, just like Adam and Eve did in the beginning. You think that if you stay in the shadows, I won't see the parts of you that you find ugly. You think your guilt is a wall that I cannot climb. But I am telling you, there is no corner of your heart that is hidden from my gaze, and there is no secret that can make me turn away. I have watched you pull back from prayer because you felt unworthy. I've seen you avoid my presence because you didn't think you could live up to the religious performance you thought I required. I am not looking for a performance. I am looking for you. I want your heart, not your rituals. I want your honesty, not your polished prayers. I am calling you out of the bushes of fear and into the light of my grace. I command you to break the chains of shame that have kept you distant. Shame is a thief that steals your intimacy with me. It tells you that you are a problem to be solved rather than a child to be loved. I am inviting you to come boldly before my throne of grace. You'll not crawl, walk. You had a right to be here because I have made a way for you. I am your safety. I am your divine embrace. Within my arms there is no condemnation. There is only restoration. When you hide, you only prolong your own pain. I am the one who can wash away the grime of the world, but you have to step into the water. I am asking you to be vulnerable with me. Tell me the things you are afraid to tell anyone else. I already know them, but I want to hear them from your lips so I can speak my healing over them. I am breaking the power of that Adam and Eve complex in your life today. You don't have to be perfect to be in my presence. You just have to be present. I am the God who seeks the lost. I am the Father who runs down the driveway to meet the prodigal. I am not standing here with a clipboard of your sins. I am standing here with a robe and a ring. I am inviting you back into the warmth of my house. Stop running. Stop covering yourself with the fig leaves of your own efforts. I am your covering. I am your righteousness. I am your home. Come out of the dark, my beloved. I am not here to punish you. I am here to polish you. I am here to remind you who you really are. Step into my light and let me hold you until the fear finally leaves your body. I know you are hurting. I see the tears you cry when no one else is watching, and I hear the questions you scream in the silence of your car. You are asking me why. Why this struggle? Why this wilderness? I want you to look at the fire you are standing in right now and see it for what it truly is. It is a refiner's fire. I am not a cruel God who enjoys your suffering. I am a purposeful creator who is using this heat to burn away the dross in your life. I allow the wilderness seasons not to abandon you, but to isolate you so that I can have your undivided attention. I am building something in you that can only be forged in the dark. I am developing a strength in you that is perfected only when you finally reach the end of your own strength. Your weakness is the platform for my power. I command you to stand firm. Do not let the winds of this trial shake your foundation. I am using this season to grow your roots deep into the soil of my word. If life were always easy, your faith would be shallow. But because you are facing this storm, your faith is becoming a mighty oak that cannot be toppled. I want you to see the thorns in your path not as obstacles, but as catalysts for your spiritual growth. They are pushing you closer to me. They are reminding you that you cannot do this life on your own. I am your sovereignty. I am the one who holds the stars in place and I am the one holding your life together even when it feels like it's falling apart. Trust me when the path is dark. You don't need to see the whole staircase. You only need to trust the one who is holding your hand. I am promising you that this trial has an expiration date. It is a season, not a sentence. I am using this time to prepare you for the weight of the glory I am about to release in your life. You are being broken like bread so that you can feed many. You are being pressed like olives so that the oil of my spirit can flow through you. I invite you to stop resisting the process. Surrender to the work I am doing in you. I am making you resilient. I am making you wise. I am making you more like my son. When you come out of this, and you will come out, you will look back and see that I was never closer to you than I was in the middle of the flame. I am your God, and I am working all things together for your good. Hold on to me. Your testimony is being written in the very moments you feel like giving up. My child, do not turn away now, for my heart is open and the most vital part of our conversation is yet to unfold. It would grieve my spirit to see you walk away when we are standing on the very threshold of your breakthrough. To stop listening now would be to leave the surgery half finished and the wound still open. I have carved out this sacred moment in eternity just for you, and to see you prioritize the noise of the world over the whisper of your Creator would be a heavy disappointment to the love I am pouring out. Stay with me, for the next words I speak are the ones your soul has been crying out for. I see the way your hands are clenched tight around the steering wheel of your life. You are exhausted from trying to play God. You wake up at 3:00 a.m. with your mind racing, trying to solve problems that haven't even happened yet. You are carrying the heavy burden of how and when, trying to force doors open that I have closed for your protection. I am telling you now, let go. I am inviting you to surrender your 5-year plans, your spreadsheets, and your desperate need for certainty into my eternal will. I am the Alpha and the Omega. I see the beginning from the end, and I promise you that my timing is infinitely superior to your urgency. You feel like you are running out of time, but I am the creator of time. I am never late, and I am never rushed. I command you to find rest in the fact that I am already there. I am already in the future you are so worried about. I have already provided for the bill you haven't received yet. I have already prepared the heart of the person you haven't met yet. When you try to control everything, you are essentially saying that you don't trust my goodness. I want you to experience the radical freedom that comes from saying, not my will, but yours be done. That isn't a prayer of defeat. It is a prayer of ultimate victory. It is the prayer that allows my supernatural power to take over where your human effort ends. I am your provider. I am your protector. I am your waymaker. I am asking you to step out of the driver's seat and let me lead. I am breaking the spirit of anxiety that comes from your need to know the outcome. You don't need to know the how. You only need to know the who. I am with you. I am for you. I am moving behind the scenes in ways you cannot even imagine. I am orchestrating a masterpiece out of the messy details of your life. I invite you to breathe. Truly breathe. Let the tension leave your neck and your shoulders. I am in control, so you don't have to be. I am promising you that as you surrender your grip, you will find a peace that makes no sense to the world around you. You will walk with a lightness you haven't felt in years. I am your God, and I've got this. Trust me with the details. Trust me with the timing. Trust me with your life. I am calling you to a level of trust that the world might call foolish, but I call it radical obedience. I want you to understand that the massive miracles you are praying for are often hidden behind the small, simple steps of faith I am asking you to take right now. You are waiting for the mountain to move before you start walking, but I am telling you, start walking, and watch the mountain melt like wax in my presence. I see the hesitation in your heart when I nudge you to reach out to that person you haven't spoken to in years, or when I prompt you to give even when your bank account looks low. You analyze, you calculate, and you wait for a sign, but I am the sign. My voice in your spirit is all the permission you need. I command you to move when I say move. Do not let your logic talk you out of your legacy. I want to address the habit of delayed obedience that has become a pattern in your life. You tell me, I will serve you when I'm more stable, or I will obey when I feel more qualified. My child, understand that delayed obedience is still a form of resistance. It is a way of keeping one foot in your own kingdom while trying to claim the territory of mine. I am inviting you to act without hesitation. When I give you a command, it isn't to burden you. It is to protect you. My moral boundaries are not fences to keep you in. They are shields to keep the enemy out. I see the traps that have been set for your feet, and when I tell you no or stop, it is because I love you too much to watch you walk into an ambush. I am your good shepherd, and I know where the wolves are hiding. I am looking for a living sacrifice, a heart that is holy and pleasing because it is fully aligned with my desires. I want you to experience the rewards that follow a life of yes. Imagine the peace of a conscience that is clear, the power of a spirit that is unhindered by compromise, and the joy of seeing my glory manifest through your simple acts of surrender. I am breaking the spirit of half-heartedness that has kept you stuck in the middle. I am promising you that as you step out in radical obedience, I will meet you with radical provision. I am not a God who asks for your sacrifice and gives nothing in return. I am the God who rewards those who diligently seek me. Step out onto the water. I am already standing there, waiting to hold you up. I am your God, and I am leading you into a life of significance that you could never orchestrate on your own. I want to sit with you in the quiet places of your memory, the ones you've boarded up and tried to forget. I see the father wound you carry, the pain of earthly shadows that didn't reflect my true light. Perhaps you had a father who was absent, or one who was harsh, or one whose love was conditional and had to be earned. Because of that, you've projected those same traits onto me. You viewed me as a distant judge or a demanding boss, always waiting for you to fail so I can turn my back. I am here today to shatter those false images. I am the Father who will never abandon you. I am the one who was there in the room when you felt alone as a child, and I am the one who wept with you when you felt invisible. I am reclaiming your identity from the labels your childhood tried to stick on you. You are not the mistake. You are not the unwanted, and you are not the disappointment. I command you to forgive those who misrepresented my character to you. I know it is hard. I know the wounds run deep. But holding on to that bitterness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. I want to restore your innocence through my spirit. I want to take those broken pieces of your past and weave them into a tapestry of my grace. I am inviting you to walk in the liberty of a true child of God. You don't have to perform for my affection. You are already my favorite. I am the Father who celebrates you, who delights in the sound of your voice, and who keeps every one of your tears in a bottle. I am breaking the generational cycles of trauma and rejection that have haunted your family line. I am starting something new with you. Do you feel the warmth of my presence healing those old fractures? I am speaking to the inner child who still feels like they have to prove themselves. You are enough. You are loved. You are safe. I am your Abba. I am the God who stays. I am promising you a restoration that goes beyond just getting over it. I am going to make those wounded places the strongest parts of your soul. I will use your story to heal others who are walking in the same darkness you once knew. I am your God, and I am rewriting your narrative. You are no longer defined by what happened to you. You are defined by what I am doing in you. Breathe in my acceptance. Let the old labels fall away. You are my beloved child, and in you, I am well pleased. I want to talk to you about the heavy chains you are still dragging behind you, the ones forged from the grudges you refuse to let go of. You think that by holding on to your anger, you are somehow punishing the people who hurt you, but the truth is, you are the only one in the cell. I am telling you plainly, holding a grudge blocks your spiritual ears. It creates a wall between us that no amount of singing or praying can tear down. I am the God who paid the ultimate debt so that you could be free, and now I am asking you to release the debts others owe you. I am not saying that what they did was right. I am not saying it didn't matter. I am saying that I am the judge, and you are not. I am inviting you to hand the gavel back to me and step out of the courtroom. Forgiveness is not a fleeting emotion. It is a hard, conscious choice. It is a decision to stop seeking payback so that I can give you restoration. When you refuse to forgive, you give the enemy legal ground to operate in your life. You give him permission to keep that wound fresh and bleeding. I command you to break that legal ground today. I want you to see the irony of being a prisoner to your own bitterness while I am standing right here with the key. I have extended infinite mercy to you. Mercy for the things you've done in the dark. Mercy for the words you've regretted, and mercy for the ways you've turned away from me. I am asking you to extend that same mercy to others, not because they deserve it, but because your soul deserves to be free. I am promising you that as you release them, the weight on your chest will disappear. The knot in your stomach will finally begin to untie. I am the one who can settle the accounts. I am the one who can bring beauty out of the ashes of betrayal. I invite you to pray for those who have used you. I invite you to bless those who have cursed you. This is the way of my kingdom. This is the path to true power. I am your God, and I am clearing the path for you to move forward. You cannot walk into the future I have for you if you are constantly looking over your shoulder at the people who wronged you in the past. Let it go. Give it to me. I am your vindicator, and I am your peace. I have called you not just to be a consumer of my grace, but a carrier of my glory. Your life is meant to be a living testimony to my goodness, a light that shines so brightly in this dark, broken world that people cannot help but ask you where your hope comes from. I see the world through the lens of eternity, and I want you to start doing the same. Every person you pass on the street, every coworker who irritates you, every neighbor you ignore, they are all souls for whom my son died. I am inviting you to see them through my eyes. I am calling you to share the light in a world that is being consumed by the shadows of despair, addiction, and loneliness. The hour is urgent, my child. The harvest is right, and I am looking for laborers who are willing to get their hands dirty. I command you to be my hands and feet in this society. Do not hide your faith under a basket of fear or political correctness. You have the words of eternal life dwelling inside of you. I am not asking you to be a theologian. I am asking you to be a witness. Tell them what I've done for you. Tell them how I found you in your brokenness and whispered life back into your spirit. I am promising you that when you step out to serve others, you will find the very purpose you've been searching for. There is no joy greater than seeing a soul return to the fold, no satisfaction deeper than knowing you were the vessel I used to bring someone home. I am breaking the spirit of apathy that has tried to lull you to sleep. I want you to recognize that your platform, whether it is an office, a classroom, a kitchen, or a digital screen, is a mission field. I have placed you there for a reason. You are an ambassador of the Most High God. I am giving you the boldness you need to speak truth in love. I am giving you the compassion to sit with the brokenhearted. I am giving you the wisdom to answer the skeptics. I invite you to join me in the greatest work in the universe, the restoration of humanity. I am your God, and I am sending you out. Do not be afraid of what people will think. I am with you always, even to the very end of the age. Go, and make my name known. My child, you have heard my call to be my hands and feet, and now I am inviting you to fuel the very light that is shattering the darkness across the nations. You are not merely a listener. You are a co-laborer in this great commission, and your seed today is the manna that will feed a soul starving for my truth tomorrow. I declare over you that as you sow into this mission through a super thanks with a link below, you are planting in the fertile soil of my eternal kingdom where no thief can steal and no moth can destroy. I am looking for the one who says, Father, I hear you, and I will help carry your word to the ends of the earth. Do not let this divine appointment pass you by, for as you release what is in your hand, I am releasing a supernatural harvest of favor and multiplication into your life that you cannot contain. I will open the windows of heaven and pour out an oil of gladness upon your household that overflows every empty vessel. I command you now, step forward in radical obedience, use the tools of support provided, and let us together ignite a fire of hope that the world can never put out. I am searching your heart, looking for the endurance that proves your love is more than a fleeting emotion. It would break my heart to see you treat my presence as something optional or to let the distractions of the flesh pull you out of this divine encounter before I have finished making you whole. Your soul is at a crossroads, and if you leave now, you risk wandering back into the shadows of the very confusion I am trying to lead you out of. Do not disappoint the grace that is reaching for you. Stay rooted in my voice, for my heart yearns to finish the work I have started in you today. I want you to lift your gaze from the dirt of this world and remember who you really are. You are living in this world, but you are not of it. You have been born again into a kingdom that cannot be shaken, a kingdom that doesn't rely on elections, stock markets, or the opinions of man. You are a citizen of heaven, and it is time you started operating with the authority that comes with your royal priesthood. I see you getting so caught up in the drama of earthly status. Who is up? Who is down? Who has more? Who has less? My child, that is all a shadow. It is a vapor that appears for a moment and then vanishes. Your true inheritance is one that cannot rot, cannot be stolen, and cannot fade. It is kept in heaven for you, and it is more real than the ground you are standing on. I command you to put on the full armor of God every single day. You not walk into the world defenseless. Use the shield of faith to quench the fiery arrows of doubt that the medium and the culture throw at you. Use the sword of the Spirit, my word, to cut through the lies of the enemy. I am inviting you to keep your eyes fixed on things above. When you understand your heavenly rank, the giants of this world start to look like grasshoppers. Why are you trembling at the threats of men when you are backed by the armies of the living God? I am your protection. I am your rear guard. I am promising you that as you align your identity with my truth, you will walk with a confidence that others will find unexplainable. I am breaking the chains of earthly-mindedness that have kept you stressed and small. I want you to live with an eternal perspective. When you face a setback today, ask yourself, how will this matter in 10,000 years? When you are tempted to compromise for a temporary gain, remember the crown that awaits you. I am your king, and I am calling you to represent my kingdom with honor. You are royalty. You are chosen. You are set apart. I am your God, and I am reminding you that this world is not your home. It is just your assignment. Do your work well, but keep your heart anchored in the place where I am. You are an alien and a stranger here, and that is why you never quite feel like you fit in. You were made for another world. You were made for me. I see the way your heart races when the sun goes down and the house grows quiet. I hear the what-ifs that circle your mind like vultures, waiting to feast on your peace. You are worried about the economy, the health of your loved ones, and the mountain of tasks that wait for you tomorrow. My child, why are you so afraid? I have counted every hair on your head, and I have engraved your name upon the palms of my hands. I am the God who commands the wind and the waves, and I am the same God who is standing right beside you in your living room. I am telling you now, fear not is not just a suggestion. It is a command from your King. I command you to stop giving your power away to shadows that have no substance. Anxiety is a thief that steals the joy of today by borrowing trouble from a tomorrow that I have already secured. I want you to take every single care, every nagging worry, and every paralyzing thought, and cast them upon me. Do not just hand them over, throw them. Hurl them into my capable hands, because I care for you with an intensity you cannot imagine. I am inviting you to replace your what if with I know my God. When the enemy whispers, what if you lose your job? I want you to answer, I know my God is my provider. When he whispers, what if the sickness returns? I want you to answer, I know my God is my healer. I have not given you a spirit of fear. A tightness in your chest and a cold sweat on your brow do not come from me. I have given you a spirit of power, of love, and of a sound mind. I am the architect of your peace, and I am rebuilding the walls of your mind today. Walk with me on the water. I know the waves look high and the wind is howling, but I am asking you to keep your eyes fixed on mine. If you look at the storm, you will sink. If you look at me, you will walk on the impossible. I am promising you that worship is your greatest weapon against panic. When you feel the walls closing in, start to praise me. When you feel the breath leaving your lungs, sing of my goodness. Worship shifts the atmosphere and reminds the darkness that it has no authority over a child of light. I am your shield. I am your high tower. I am the steady hand that holds you when you feel like you are falling. You are safe with me. I am your God, and I have already defeated the giants you are facing. Stand tall, my beloved. The victory is already yours. I want to invite you into a deeper conversation. For too long, you have treated prayer like a shopping list or a formal presentation you have to get right. You come to me with rehearsed words and a sense of duty, but I am longing for your heart. I want our prayer life to be a natural, flowing conversation, the kind you have with a best friend over a cup of coffee. I am not impressed by your religious vocabulary. I am moved by your raw honesty. I want you to learn to listen as much as you speak. If you are always talking, you will miss the secrets I am trying to whisper to your spirit. I am inviting you to sit in my presence and just be. You don't have to fill the silence with noise. My spirit is interceding for you with groans that words cannot express, even when you don't know what to pray. Consistency is more precious to me than the length of your petitions. I would rather have 5 minutes of your focused, honest heart than an hour of distracted ritual. I am asking you to watch for my answers in the mundane moments of your day. I don't always answer in thunderbolts and lightning. Often, I answer in the kindness of a stranger, a line in a book, or a sudden sense of peace that settles over you while you are doing the dishes. Cultivate a heart that prays without ceasing, a heart that is constantly online with me. Whether you are driving in traffic or sitting in a board meeting, keep a window of your soul open toward heaven. I am always listening, and I am always responding. I command you to stop rushing through our time together. I am the source of your life, not a task on your to-do list. When you prioritize me, everything else in your life begins to fall into its proper place. I am promising you that as you seek my face, you will find more than just answers. You will find me. And in finding me, you find everything you have been searching for. I am your counselor. I am your comforter. I am the one who understands the unspoken longings of your soul. Come to me with your mess. Come to me with your questions. I am not going anywhere. I am your God, and I have all the time in the universe for you. Let's talk. I have entrusted you with treasures that the world cannot buy. I have given you talents, influence, and most importantly, the gift of time. Every breath you take is a direct gift from my lungs to yours, and I am calling you to account for how you are using what I have placed in your hands. I see the potential I buried inside you like seeds in fertile soil. I see the dreams you've let gather dust because you were afraid of failing or because you were too busy chasing things that don't matter. I am telling you now, do not bury your potential in the dirt of someday. I command you to use your influence for the expansion of my kingdom. Whether you are leading a company or raising a family, you are doing it for me. I want you to stop investing all your energy into temporary things that rot and fade. The house, the car, the titles, they are all tools, but they are not the goal. I am inviting you to invest in people. One soul is worth more than all the gold in the world. When you use your gifts to lift someone else up, you are investing in eternity. I want you to live each day with the well done of eternity in mind. Imagine standing before me and seeing the ripple effect of every kind word you spoke and every hidden act of service you performed. I am the one who gives you the power to create wealth and the wisdom to solve problems. Do not take the credit for the grace I have given you. I am breaking the spirit of procrastination and laziness that has tried to steal your destiny. You were made for more than just survival. You were made for significance. I am promising you that when you are faithful with the little things, I will make you ruler over much. I am looking for stewards who can be trusted with the true riches of the kingdom. I invite you to reevaluate your schedule today. Does it reflect my priorities, or is it consumed by the urgent demands of the world? I am your God, and I am calling you to a higher standard. Use your time wisely, for the days are short. Let your life be a masterpiece that points everyone back to the artist. I am with you, and I am empowering you to finish the race I have set before you. My child, I want you to look in the mirror and see what I see. Your physical form is not an accident, and it is not a burden. It is a temple of my Holy Spirit. I chose to dwell inside of you. I chose your heart as my home. Because of this, I am calling you to honor me through your health and your habits. I see the cycles of addiction that have tried to claim your body, the substances, the comfort eating, the exhaustion you wear like a badge of honor. I am telling you today, these chains are not your destiny. I am the God who designed every cell in your body, and I am the God who can heal every cell. I command you to treat yourself with the respect and the dignity that I have for you. You are not a disposable thing. You are a sacred vessel. There is a deep connection between your physical life and your spiritual life. When you neglect your body, you dull your spiritual senses. I am inviting you to break the soul ties and the habits that keep you in a state of sluggishness and self-hatred. I want you to be vibrant, strong, and ready for the work I have for you. I am not asking for perfection. I am asking for stewardship. I want you to choose life in every meal, in every hour of rest, and in every thought you think about your appearance. Stop speaking death over your body. Stop calling yourself ugly or weak. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. When you criticize yourself, you are criticizing my craftsmanship. I am promising you the strength to overcome the cravings and the compulsions that have held you back. I am the God who provides a way of escape in every temptation. I invite you to offer your body as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to me. This is your true and proper worship. I am breaking the power of the body shame that has kept you from walking with your head held high. I am your God, and I want you to experience the joy of a healthy spirit dwelling in a healthy body. I am pouring my vitality into you right now. I am renewing your youth like the eagles. Trust me to help you make the changes you've been afraid to make. I am your healer, and I am your strength. You not feel the urgency in my voice. I am pleading with you, as a father who sees the cliff you are walking toward, and it would be a profound sorrow to me if you chose to close your ears just as I am revealing the path to your safety. To stop listening now is to tell me that the temporary things of this world are more precious than the eternal life I am breathing into you. I have so much more to reveal, secrets of the kingdom that are reserved only for the one who persists in the secret place. Honor the sacrifice I have made to reach you. Do not walk away from my heart while I am still speaking. I see the people you have allowed into the inner circle of your heart. I know the relationships that sharpen you and the ones that leave you feeling hollow and drained. I am calling you to navigate your connections with divine wisdom. I want you to choose a circle that pushes you closer to me, not one that pulls you back into the shadows. I am telling you plainly, your environment determines your growth. If you are surrounded by those who mock truth and celebrate darkness, your own light will begin to flicker. I command you to be careful about who you allow to influence your spirit. I am inviting you to seek my counsel before you give your heart away to anyone, in friendship, in business, or in marriage. I want to warn you about the dangers of being unequally yoked. When you tie your life to someone who does not share your passion for my kingdom, you will always be pulling in different directions. I am not telling you to isolate yourself. I am telling you to be a light. Love your enemies. Pray for those who use you, and be kind to everyone, but guard your intimacy. Your heart is a garden, and not everyone belongs in the center of it. I am promising you that if you trust me with your relationships, I will bring people into your life who will love you for who you are in me. I will model the selfless love of my Son through your marriage and your family if you will only let me lead. I am breaking the spirit of loneliness that makes you settle for toxic connections. You are so valuable that I died to be in relationship with you. Do not settle for people who treat you like you are ordinary. I invite you to be a bridge builder and a peacemaker within your community, but do so with your eyes wide open. I am giving you the discernment to see past the masks that people wear. I am your God, and I am your ultimate companion. I will never leave you, and I will never betray you. Let my love be the standard by which you measure every other love. I am teaching you how to love without losing yourself. Trust my guidance, and I will surround you with a community that reflects my glory. I have written a love letter to you, but I see it sitting on your shelf, gathering the dust of a busy life. My child, the Bible is not just a book of ancient history or a collection of dusty rules. It is my living, breathing word. It is the manual for your soul and the map for your journey. When you feel lost in the maze of modern problems, why do you look to the world's experts before you look to me? I have placed the answers to your deepest anxieties, your financial struggles, and your relationship heartaches within these pages. I am telling you now, if you want to hear my voice clearly, you must immerse yourself in my word. It is the frequency upon which I speak. I command you to let the word wash over your mind daily. The world is constantly trying to brainwash you with its fears and its values. You must combat that noise with the truth of what I have said about you. I want you to experience the power of a mind that is renewed. You are currently operating on old programming, lies you were told as a child, failures that you've turned into a secondary identity, and the cynical outlook of the culture around you. I am inviting you to delete that old data and replace it with my promises. Meditate on my words until they are no longer just sentences on a page, but roots that go deep into the soil of your heart. When my word is rooted in you, you become like a tree planted by the water. Even when the heat of life comes and the drought of the world persists, your leaves will stay green. You will not be shaken by the headlines because you are anchored in the eternal. I am promising you that my word will never return to me void. It always accomplishes what I sent it out to do. If I said you are a conqueror, you are. If I said I will provide, I will. I am giving you the sword of the Spirit as your primary defense. When the enemy comes to attack your mind with thoughts of depression or worthlessness, do not argue with him using your own logic. Use my word. Say what I say. I am breaking the spirit of biblical illiteracy that has left my children defenseless in a war-torn world. I want you to be a student of the truth. I am inviting you to a deeper study, not for the sake of knowledge, but for the sake of intimacy. As you read, you will find me. You will see my character, my heart, and my relentless pursuit of you through every generation. I am your God, and I am speaking to you through these sacred lines. Open the book. Let the light in. Let the truth set you free from the cages you've built for yourself. I want to talk to you about your bank account, because I know it is one of the primary sources of your stress. You feel a knot in your stomach when the bills arrive, and you spend your nights calculating how to make ends meet. I see you working yourself to the point of exhaustion, believing that your survival depends entirely on your own effort. I am here to remind you that I am Jehovah Jireh, the Lord your provider. I own the cattle on 1,000 hills, and the gold and silver are mine. Why do you worry as if you are an orphan? I am your father, and I take personal responsibility for the needs of my children. I command you to break the spirit of mammon and greed that tells you that you never have enough. Greed is a parasite that thrives on the fear of lack. I am inviting you to live from a place of abundance, even before the money shows up. The blessing of my kingdom flows through a generous heart, not a clenched fist. When you hold on to your money out of fear, you block the very channel through which I want to pour my provision. I am calling you to a lifestyle of tithing and giving, not because I need your money, but because you need to be free from the idol of security. I want you to seek first my kingdom and my righteousness, and I promise you that all these things, the food, the clothes, the shelter, will be added to you. I am asking you to trust me when the numbers don't add up. My math is different than the world's math. I can make your little go further than the world's much. I am breaking the cycles of poverty and the scarcity mindset that have been passed down through your family for generations. I am promising you that I am moving behind the scenes of your financial situation. I am opening doors for favor that you didn't even know existed. I am giving you the wisdom to manage what you have so that I can entrust you with more. I invite you to stop playing God with your finances and start being a steward. Bring your worries to me and leave them at my feet. I am your God, and I will not let you go under. I am the God of the overflow. I want to bless you so that you can be a blessing to others. Trust me with your tithe. Trust me with your offerings, and most importantly, trust me with your heart. I am your security, not your paycheck. I am your God, and I have already provided for your every need according to my riches and glory. I know how it feels when the heavens seem like brass and you feel like you are wandering through a parched desert. You remember the seasons when you felt my presence so tangibly, when worship brought tears to your eyes and you felt like you could hear my whisper in every breeze. But now, it feels quiet. You feel distant, and you are starting to wonder if I have left you or if you've done something to drive me away. My child, listen to me. I am not a God of feelings. I am a God of faith. Feelings are like the weather. They change from hour to hour. But my word is like the sun. It is always there, even when the clouds of your emotions hide it from your view. I am telling you now, I have never left you. I am as close to you in this dark night of the soul as I was on the mountain top. I am inviting you to remember my faithfulness in seasons past. When you feel dry, do not stop digging. Keep praying, keep reading, and keep going out. Faith is a firm foundation, not a fleeting emotion. I am using this season of silence to see if you will seek my hand or seek my face. I am testing your roots. Anyone can praise me when the rain is falling, but it takes a true disciple to trust me in the drought. I command you to stoke the embers of your first love. Do not wait for a feeling to move you. Move by the decision of your will. I am breaking the power of spiritual apathy that makes you want to give up when things get hard. I am the God who provides manna in the wilderness and water from the rock. I am promising you that this desert season has a purpose. It is stripping away your dependence on spiritual experiences and building a dependence on me. I am making you stronger. I am teaching you how to walk by faith and not by sight. I invite you to persevere. The rain is coming, my child. I am already forming the clouds on the horizon. But for now, trust the one who is walking beside you in the dust. I am your God, and I never forsake my own. Even when you cannot feel me, I am carrying you. Even when you cannot hear me, I am speaking over you. Stay the course. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. I am your God, and I am the living water that will never run dry. I want you to wake up to the reality that you are in a battle. This life is not a playground. It is a spiritual war zone. You have an enemy who hates you not because of who you are, but because of whose you are. He sees my image in you, and it infuriates him. I see the schemes he has been using against your mind, the arrows of accusation that tell you that you are a failure, the whispers of doubt that make you question my goodness, and the traps of temptation designed to pull you out of my protection. I am telling you now, stop acting like a victim and start acting like a soldier. I have given you the name of Jesus, and at that name, every knee must bow. I have given you the power of the blood of the Lamb, which has already defeated the darkness. I command you to stand firm against the arrows of the accuser. When he brings up your past, remind him of his future. When he tells you that you are weak, remind him that my strength is made perfect in your weakness. I am inviting you to put on the armor I have provided. Do not walk into your day without your shield of faith. Do not leave your mind unguarded. Put on the helmet of salvation. I am breaking the spirit of intimidation that has made you live in fear of the enemy's threats. He is a roaring lion, but he is a lion on a leash. He has no authority over you unless you give it to him. I am your high tower and your fortress. I am promising you that the battle is already won. The finished work of the cross is your victory. I want you to understand that your struggle is not against flesh and blood. Stop fighting with people and start fighting the spirits behind the conflict. Use your authority. Speak to the mountains in your life. Command the darkness to flee. I am giving you the weapons of warfare that are not carnal but mighty through me for the pulling down of strongholds. I invite you to walk in the confidence of a conqueror. You are not fighting for victory. You are fighting from victory. I am your God, and I am the Lord of hosts. My angels are encamped around you, even now. You are safe under the shadow of my wings. I am your God, and I have already crushed the head of the serpent. Walk in your authority. You stand now as a warrior who has seen the victory of the finished work, and I am calling you to strengthen the front lines of this spiritual battle. As you have learned to use the name of Jesus as your shield, I invite you to use your resources as a sword that cuts through the enemy's lies by keeping my word active and alive on this platform. This is the moment where your faith becomes tangible. By giving through a membership or the gift in the description, You are ensuring that the oil of my spirit continues to flow to those trapped in the dungeons of despair. I am the God who multiplies the loaves and the fishes, and I promise that your generosity will return to you as a river of blessing that waters every dry area of your soul. I see your heart's desire to see my kingdom expand, and I am telling you that your seed is a prophetic declaration that the enemy has no ground in your finances. I am your vindicator and your provider, and I will protect the fruit of your labor because you have honored me first. I command you, act with the authority of a royal priesthood. Follow the promptings of my spirit to donate now, and watch how I move mountains on your behalf. We have come so far together, and my spirit is stirred with a holy jealousy for your attention. It would deeply wound me to see you falter in the final stretch, turning back to the desert just as the gates of the refreshing spring are swinging wide. You are standing on holy ground, and to treat this moment as common or to let your focus drift would be a rejection of the intimate transformation I am offering you. I am watching to see if you will value my presence enough to stay until the end. Do not grieve the one who loves you. Finish this journey with me, for the climax of your destiny is only moments away. I know you are tired of waiting. You've been standing on a promise for months, maybe years, and you are starting to wonder if I've forgotten what I told you. You see others receiving their breakthroughs while you are still stuck in the hallway of transition. My child, I want you to understand that there is a profound difference between my no and my not yet. I am never late, though I am rarely early according to your clock. I am the God of the perfect timing. I am using this period of waiting to build your character, because I refuse to give you a blessing that your character cannot sustain. I am telling you now, do not grow weary in well-doing. I am building a testimony in you that will be worth the wait. I command you to keep your lamp lit while the bridegroom tarries. Do not let your fire go out just because the sun hasn't come up yet. I'm inviting you to find contentment in the present moment. If you cannot be happy in the waiting, you will not be happy in the receiving. I am the God who renews the strength of those who wait on me. I want you to exchange your exhaustion for my endurance. I am breaking the spirit of impatience and urgency that makes you want to take matters into your own hands. Remember Abraham. Remember Joseph. Remember David. They all had to walk through the hallway of waiting before they entered the throne room of the promise. Your hallway is not a dead end. It is a corridor to your destiny. I am promising you that the vision I gave you is still for an appointed time. It will surely come. It will not tarry forever. I am working out the details that you cannot see. I am aligning the hearts of people you haven't met. I am preparing the ground for the harvest I am about to give you. I invite you to trust my sovereignty. I am your God, and I see the big picture. I love you too much to give you the right thing at the wrong time. Use this time to get closer to me. Let the waiting drive you into my arms, not away from my presence. I am your God, and I am worth the wait. Be still, my child. Your morning is coming. I want to invite you to look past the songs and the ceremonies. You have often equated worship with a melody played on a Sunday morning or a specific set of words you say in a building, but I am looking for something far deeper. Worship is a lifestyle, not just a momentary event. It is the way you treat the person who can do nothing for you. It is the integrity you hold when no one is watching. It is the decision to honor me with your thoughts, your time, and your resources. I am calling you to bring me your sacrifice of praise, especially when you are in pain. It is easy to sing when the sun is shining and the harvest is plenty, but when you choose to lift your hands in the middle of a drought, that is the sound that moves my heart. That is the moment when your worship becomes a weapon that pierces the darkness. I command you to bow your heart before you bow your knees. External rituals mean nothing to me if your spirit is far away. I am tired of religious performance. I am longing for authenticity. I want you to come to me exactly as you are, messy, frustrated, or overflowing with joy. Don't worry about the right posture or the most poetic words. I inhabit the praises of my people, which means that when you worship me in spirit and in truth, my presence settles in the room like a thick, comforting mist. I am inviting you to encounter my glory through a grateful spirit. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the door to my courts. When you stop complaining about what you lack and start celebrating what I have already done, the atmosphere of your life begins to change. I am breaking the spirit of ritualism that has made your spiritual life feel like a chore. I want you to experience the ecstasy of true connection with your Creator. Worship is the bridge between your earthly reality and my heavenly perspective. When you enter into worship, you are stepping out of the limitations of time and space and into the eternal now. I am promising you that as you make worship your primary response to every situation, the good, the bad, and the mundane, you will find a peace that the world cannot take away. Use your voice. Use your life. Let every breath be a hallelujah to the one who gave it to you. I am your God, and I am worthy of it all. Not because I need your validation, but because you need the transformation that happens when you fix your gaze on me. I am calling you to come out from among them and be separate. I have set you apart for a specific, divine use, and I want you to understand that holiness is not a burden, it is your beauty. The world mocks purity. It treats your standards as outdated or restrictive. But I am telling you, purity is the pathway to power. When your heart is clean and your conscience is clear, you walk with an authority that the enemy cannot stand. I see the hidden sins you struggle with, the things you think don't matter because everyone else is doing them. I am telling you now, you are not everyone else. You are a child of the Most High God, and I have called you to be holy as I am holy. This is not about being perfect by your own effort. It is about being fully surrendered to my spirit. I want you to experience the joy of a life lived without secrets. There is a weight that comes with hidden sin, a constant fear of being found out and a dulling of your spiritual senses. I am inviting you to bring those hidden things into the light today. I am not here to shame you. I am here to wash you. I command you to pursue purity in your mind, your eyes, and your heart. Stop feeding on the toxic entertainment and the cynical conversations that pollute your spirit. Your soul is a garden. If you let the weeds of the world grow unchecked, they will choke out the seeds of my word. I am breaking the power of the double life that has left you feeling exhausted and divided. I want you to be whole. I am promising you that as you walk in holiness, you will reflect my character to a watching world. People are not looking for more religious people. They are looking for real people who have been transformed by a real God. Your holiness is your testimony. It is the evidence that my spirit is alive and active within you. I invite you to make the difficult choices, the choice to be honest when it costs you, the choice to be kind when you are mistreated, and the choice to stay pure in a world of compromise. I am your God, and I am empowering you to live a life that is truly set apart. I am the one who sanctifies you. Trust me to change your desires. Trust me to give you the strength to say no to the flesh and yes to the spirit. You are my royal priesthood. Walk in your calling. I want you to take a deep breath and remember that this life is but a vapor. You get so caught up in the stress of the now, the deadlines, the gray hairs, the fluctuating numbers in your bank account, that you forget you are a being made for eternity. You are just passing through this world. It is a tent, not a mansion. I have been ahead of you to prepare a place that no eye has seen and no ear has heard. I am building a home for you where there are no more tears, no more cancer, no more betrayals, and no more goodbyes. I want you to start setting your affections on the kingdom to come. When you live with an eternal perspective, the problems of today start to lose their grip on your heart. You can handle a temporary storm when you know you have an eternal shelter. I command you to stop living as if this world is all there is. If you find yourself too comfortable in this world, it is a sign that you have forgotten your citizenship. I am inviting you to live each day as a rehearsal for heaven. Let your values be the values of my kingdom: love, mercy, justice, and humility. I am breaking the spirit of materialism that has made you a slave to things that are destined to burn. Your true treasure is not in what you possess, but in who you are becoming in me. I want you to feel the pull of home in your spirit. That longing you feel, that sense that something is missing even when things are going well, that is your soul crying out for its true home. I am promising you a final union that will make every struggle of this life seem like a small price to pay. Imagine the moment you see my face, and I wipe every tear from your eyes. Imagine the peace of finally being exactly where you belong. I invite you to live with urgency, but not with anxiety. Share the hope of this home with everyone you meet. This world is shaking so that people will look for a kingdom that cannot be shaken. Be the one who points the way. I am your God, and I am the Alpha and the Omega. I was there at your first breath, and I will be there when you step out of time and into my arms. Keep your eyes on the horizon. Your King is coming, and he is bringing your reward with him. My child, here we are. We have walked through the depths of your heart, the heights of your calling, and the reality of my love. And now, I have one final question for you. Will you finally hear me out? Will you stop running? My arms are open wide, and I have been waiting for this moment since before you were born. I see the exhaustion in your eyes. I see the way you've tried to fix yourself, save yourself, and prove yourself. I'm telling you today, it is finished. You don't have to run anymore. There is no sin you have committed that is too great for my mercy to cover. There is no distance you have traveled that is too far for my grace to reach. I'm calling you home. Not to a set of rules, not to a cold religion, but to me. I command you to soften your heart today. Do not let this moment pass you by. The world will try to distract you the moment this conversation ends, but I am asking you to stay in this space with me for just a little longer. Step into the destiny I wrote for you before the stars were formed. You were created for intimacy with me. Everything else, your career, your hobbies, your achievements, is secondary to the relationship we were meant to have. I am breaking the final chains of independence that have kept you trying to do life on your own. I invite you to surrender. Surrender isn't losing, it's finally winning. It's letting the Creator take the lead. I am promising you a peace that you have never known. It is the peace of being found. It is the peace of being known. It is the peace of being home. I am your God, and I am for you. I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. I will walk with you through every valley and dance with you on every mountain. But it starts with a choice. Will you be mine? Will you let me be your Father, your Savior, and your friend? I am whispering directly into your heart right now. I love you. I have always loved you. I will always love you. Come home, my precious one. The door is open. The light is on. And I am waiting for you with open arms. Step into my presence and never look back. I am your God, and you are finally where you belong. We have reached the end of this conversation, but the echoes of my voice are meant to travel far beyond your own heart to reach the prodigals who are still wandering in the cold. I am inviting you to seal this divine encounter by becoming a pillar of support for this ministry, turning your moment of transformation into a lifetime of impact for others. Your gift, whether through PayPal, membership, or a super thanks, is a holy investment in the mansions I am preparing, for what you give to the least of these, you give unto me. I declare that you are a citizen of a kingdom that never runs dry, and as you participate in spreading my love, I will supernaturally resolve the matters that concern you most. I have written your name on my hand, and I will remember your faithfulness when you stand before my throne in the light of eternity. Do not leave this place unchanged. Let your final act today be one of radical generosity that breaks the spirit of mammon and releases the abundance of heaven. I command you, go to the description now, plant your seed of faith, and walk into the destiny I have prepared for you with the wind of my spirit at your back. My child, as you step back into the world, do not leave my presence behind, but carry this conversation in your bones like a fire that cannot be quenched. I am watching for the one who will not just listen, but who will answer my call with the roar of their own faith. I command you to stand in the light and declare your surrender so that the heavens and the earth may bear witness to your homecoming. Right now, I want you to post your testimony in the comments by declaring, Father, I hear you, and I am finally coming home. Do not hesitate, for this simple act of bold declaration is the key that unlocks the next door of your destiny. I am waiting to see your name, to hear your heart, and to pour out a blessing that will leave you forever changed. Amen.